Hello guys, I welcome you all on this wonderful platform that is BYJU'S Exam Prep. So guys, in this particular session, we are going to see the official answer keys and most authenticate solution for GATE 2023 Mechanical Engineering paper. So guys, those students who already appeared for this paper, for them it is useful to see the exact solution, to see that how they should proceed for such type of question, so that in upcoming exam they can do good, and also you will get to know the mistake you have made in the exam. And the student who are going to appear in the upcoming years, for them it will give you an idea that how the questions are framed, how you need to proceed with the solution. So guys, along with me, the entire mechanical team will be joining one by one for their particular subjects, and we are going to give you the solution for each and every question of GATE 2023. So we are moving subject wise. So before we start the discussion over the solutions, first let us see some important point of the paper, which are some highlighted point. First of all, the level of the paper. It was moderate. I will not be saying this paper that it was very easy one. No, it was not. And nor it is very difficult one. It was a moderate paper. Okay, why I am saying moderate? Because there were some questions which were very easy also, and there were some questions which were very difficult for student also. Some were lengthy as well. So it was a combination of all. That's why I am saying it is a moderate paper. And guys, MSQ weightage was 8 number of questions. Numerical answer type are 25 questions. MCQs were 32. So as usual, they were highest in number, but MSQ relatively weightage increases from the last year papers. And then my dear, aptitude was easy and highest weightage was for manufacturing, engineering and materials. Some of you may be thinking, sir, what is new in that? We know manufacturing is a subject which comes for highest number of marks. You are correct guys. But the difference here is it was much more than what it should be asked. So the weightage generally remains from 13 to 17. But this year the weightage was around 23 marks, which was really very big. So more than 20 marks production have never been asked. So that is why this paper was exceptional if we compare from the previous papers. So guys, we are starting, and they have also asked the questions from untouched portion, which generally students are not doing because previously questions have not been asked from those areas. So moving further guys, I would be showing you now the weightage. Here subject wise weightage we have seen. For fluid mechanics, the weightage was 10 marks. Yes, including fluid machinery. You can see 2 1 mark, 4 2 marks questions were there. For thermodynamics, 1 1 mark, 3 2 marks, 7 marks was the weightage. No question from RAC. Power plant, 1 marks. IC engine, 0 marks. So this year applications were not much asked. Generally applications are there for 3 to 5 marks. Here it was very less. Heat transfer, 6 marks. Last year heat transfer was for 9 to 11 marks, which was very high as compared to other years. So engineering mechanics, 5 marks as usual. Theory of machines was having very less weightage. Generally it comes for more than 8 to 9 marks. This time it was only 4 marks. So strength of material increased to 14 marks. I always used to say that in 2019 also SOM was of 13 marks. So strength of material weightage keeps on changing. Okay. Then if we move to the machine design, the weightage was again less, but it was expected to 3 to 4 marks. Then for manufacturing and materials, it is 21. For industrial, it is 2. And then engineering mathematics, it is 13 as usual. For aptitude as 15. So my dear, actually there was a question which uses the concept of metal forming as well as you can say the stress strain diagram. So we have kept that in the strength of material. That's why if you will count that in production, it will become 23. So that depends on you where you count that question. We will see that question also. So based on that, this weightage we have shown. So my dear, now this is a chart which is showing you the distribution of marks. 21% is the highest, machine design is the lowest. Okay, and if you see heat transfer as usual, power plant 1%, thermodynamics 7%, 10%, 15%, 13%. So rest things were as usual. Only the things happen between SOM weightage increases, production increases, theory of machines and machine design was reduced. Mechanics was as usual. Moving further, guys. So guys, this is the comparison from the previous years. If you see fluid mechanics and machinery, it is definitely increased. The weightage is definitely increased. If we are talking about the thermodynamics, you see it is yes, slightly increased. Then for RAC, yes, last year also it was 0. And my dear, for power plant last year more, this time less. For IC engine last time was there. Heat transfer is reduced, and if you see engineering mechanics also reduced, but the real weightage should be around 5 marks and 4 marks was TOM. And you can see here the weightage have been increased for strength of material. It is just becoming double. Okay. Then my dear, if you will be talking about that machine design reduced, production increased, you can see highest it was coming till 18 marks. After that, now it moved to 21 or 23, you can say. So then industrial is 2, then mechanics, mathematics is 13, rest is all the same. Okay. So guys, moving further now. Then my dear, this is the very first question. First of all, we will see the questions of strength of material. Then we will move on to the machine design question. And after that, we will be going for the production questions. Okay. Then after me, next faculty will join. So guys, the very first question was from the deflection of beams. You see the question, the effective stiffness of a cantilever beam of length L and flexural rigidity EI for a transverse load W. So my dear, they have asked for the stiffness. So you already know the formula for stiffness is given as load bate deflection. So my dear, you already know if we are having a cantilever beam and we are having a point load W for this, then this beam is getting deflected like this, and this deflection is given as WL cube upon 3 EI. So my dear, we just need to find out stiffness. Load is W, deflection is WL cube upon 3 EI. So my dear, stiffness will be coming out to be 3 EI divided by L cube. So this was a very easy question. A would be the right answer for this. So this was the very first question. A was the answer for this. This was from strength of material. Here they have mentioned the type of question. It was MCQ, and also they have mentioned the marks. 1 mark, strength of material. Moving further to the next question. Second question is MSQ for 1 mark once again. So this time they have mentioned a beam is undergoing pure bending. So they have mentioned the loading is pure bending. Not only this, they have given the figure also. So you can see it is sagging moment applied. They have applied the sagging moment, because whenever loading is applied like this is said to be sagging when top fiber is under tension and bottom fibers are under compression. Then moving further, my dear, they are saying that the stress strain curve for the materials are given and the yield stress of the material is sigma y. They have given this diagram and they are saying sigma y. For tension and compression, they have given equal. Then my dear, you can see which of the options given represent the bending stress distribution at cross section AA after plastic yielding. They have mentioned that plastic yielding starts. So it means we are moving to the plastic limit. So my dear, now as it is MSQ, we need to see the possibilities. So my dear, out of these, if you see in option A and B, they have mentioned the stress distribution when the plasticity will not start. This is up to the elastic limit, what we study in strength of materials. Then if you see in option C and D, here you can see they are saying the same stress for all the fibers. So this will be the case when all the fibers will be under the plastic yielding. But you know, when the bending will be done, the top fiber, if you are saying this is the longitudinal axis, you know that, or neutral fiber, then my dear, top fiber and bottom fiber which are at far away from the neutral axis or neutral fiber. Okay, so you can see at top and bottom fiber the stresses will be maximum. So obviously the top and bottom fiber stress will first reach to the plastic limit. So definitely it is possible that the top and bottom fiber are already entered into the plastic region, but other fibers have not reached. So for that case, you will be having sigma y for top and bottom fiber or nearby fiber, and for rest still they are in the elastic limit. So taking both these possibilities, then my dear, the answer for this will be C and will also be D. So as this is MSQ, in MSQ we can have more than one option to be correct. So guys, taking that into picture, we will be saying the answers for this are C and D. I already told you, if all the fibers would be under the plastic range or plastic limit, the answer will be C. If some of the fibers are in plastic, others are in elastic, then the answer will be D. So C and D both are the correct answer. So my dear, moving to the next question. Then my dear, next question is once again MSQ, and this MSQ is from strength of material. Rather, this question is from theories of failures. So you can also count this question in the machine design, because in the mechanical engineering syllabus, theory of failures are mentioned in the machine design. Okay, but as it is the application of principal stresses, that is why some people are putting it into strength of materials, because it is a bridging topic which is used as a bridge for joining SOM and machine design. So we are taking that the principal stress at a point are 70 and minus 70 MPa and 0. So sigma 1 is plus 70 MPa. Then my dear, sigma 2 we will be taking as 0 MPa, and sigma 3 you will be taking as minus 70 MPa. So my dear, they are talking about two theories of failure. One is MPST, other is MSST. So my dear, they are talking about maximum principal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, because the question says the yield stress of the material is 100 MPa. So I will put the value of SYT as 100 MPa. So in the option they are talking about maximum normal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, maximum normal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory. So I would like to say maximum normal stress theory says that sigma 1 or sigma 2 or sigma 3 is less than equals to SYT upon N. So you know, out of these three, the maximum is 70, less than equals to 100 by N. You will see factor of safety will be coming out to be more than 1. When factor of safety comes out to be more than 1, it means the component is going to be safe. So by maximum principal stress theory, the component is not going to fail. So my dear, that is why option A is wrong. And maximum normal stress theory predict the material does not fail. C is the right answer. C will be the right answer for this. Now my dear, we will be moving further. In the further part, we will go for MSST. MSST says the absolute value of tau max, which is nothing but equals to maximum of sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2, sigma 2 minus sigma 3 by 2, sigma 1 minus sigma 3 by 2. Whatever is the maximum is less than equals to SYT by 2N. So guys, you can also directly write as sigma 1 minus sigma 2 or sigma 2 minus sigma 3 or sigma 1 minus sigma 3 less than equals to SYT upon N. So if you will put sigma 1 is 70, sigma 3 is minus 70, because this is going to be the maximum. So 70 minus of minus 70 is less than equals to 100 by N. So you know, this value together will become 140. It is less than equals to 100 by N. So I feel you can see here factor of safety is coming out to be less than 1. If factor of safety is coming out to be less than 1, it means according to MSST, the component will fail. Because factor of safety is more than 1 for the safe design, factor of safety is less than 1 for the failed design. So moving further guys, the option maximum shear stress theory predict that the material will fail, and it says not fail will be wrong answer. So question number 3, my dear, the answer will be B and C. Moving further to the next question. Next question is once again from the strength of material, Mohr circle. Topic is principal stress and strain. This is once again MSQ for 1 mark. If you see, which of the plot shown are valid Mohr circle representation of a plane stress in the material? So first of all, what is plane state of stress? Plane is generally referred for 2D state of stresses. So generally, whenever we are talking about the Mohr circle, that is, whenever we reach to the Mohr circle derivation, then we get to know Mohr circle will always be having its center on the x-axis. So first of all, this cannot be the correct Mohr circle, and this cannot be the correct Mohr circle. And otherwise, Mohr circles are plotted for plain state of stress only. So my dear, I feel this and this are going to be the correct Mohr circle. So based on that, if you will see which one are correct, M1 and M3. So answer for this is going to be A and C. A and C will be the right answer. So let's see the question number 5. If you see this question, a beam of length L, is loaded in the XY plane. You can see the load is shown here. This is UDL and this is point load. And they are saying that the resulting bending moment distribution about Y and Z are given as My and Mz respectively. You need to identify the curves for that. So my dear, first of all, we already know that there are loading acting in the different planes. Like if you see, this point load is acting like this. So obviously because of that, this beam is going to deflect in the Z direction. Not only in the Y but also in the Z direction. So because of this load, we need to talk about the bending moment. If this load would have been like this, then we can very easily make the BMD for this and it will be coming like this. Okay, note this, actually, this is, I have made it for the sagging. As hogging is happening, in this case, this will be the BMD. But as I said, this will be if the load is acting like this. Because we have taken a sign convention that this is going to create the hogging when beam is going to deflect like that. But here if you will see, we get to know that linear curve should come for this load. So for My, curve should be linear. For My, curve is not linear here, so this is wrong. For My, the curve is not linear here, so this is wrong. So we are having only two options, C and B. In both the options, they have made it linear to the upward direction. That is, definitely they have taken the sign convention accordingly. So no doubt either B or C will be the right answer. Now we need to see about the bending moment diagram. You know that if we are having a UDL like this, because this deflection or deviation is going to happen in the this is about the Y. Sorry, we are talking about the Z, MZ. So my dear, here, if you will be making the bending moment diagram, you know bending moment diagram comes like this. Okay, so this is going to be negative and the value comes out to be WL square by 2, we know that. So here also the value comes out to be PL. So my dear, if you see that this kind of curve is there with the option B, so answer is going to be B for this. So we got the values of My and Mz. So answer for this is B. This is MCQ, one option is correct. Moving further to question number 6. This type of question was asked in GATE 2011 from the thin cylinder. So here the similar question is there. Only this time they have asked in the form of curvatures. This was a MCQ of 2 marks. This is a thin cylinder mentioned. And the figure shows a thin-walled open cylinder of radius R and wall thickness T. The vessel is held along the brim and contains a constant density liquid to height h. Neglect the atmospheric pressure, the weight of the vessel and bending stresses in the vessel walls. Which one of the plots depicts qualitatively correct dependence on the magnitudes of axial loading and circumferential? So they are saying sigma 1 to be sigma longitudinal and sigma 2 to be sigma circumferential. So my dear, you know that whenever due to liquid we are going to find out the stresses at any section, then circumferential stress comes because of the pressure present at this section. So let us see, if this pressure is Pxx, then we will be having P circumferential at section xx as Pxx R divided by T. But you know Pxx will be depending on this height. If this height is x, it is rho gx. So my dear, as the height will vary, the pressure will vary linearly. So we can say that circumferential stress will be changing with the height, because here pressure at xx section is considered. So you need to see where sigma 2 is linearly increasing. I feel in A option sigma 2 is increasing linearly. in this option it is not increasing. In this option both sigma 1 and sigma 2 increasing linearly. In this option both sigma 1 and sigma 2 increasing linearly. So obviously B cannot be the right answer for this. Moving further guys to our discussion, we will move to some wonderful concept now. Longitudinal stress is coming because of this pressure which is acting at the end wall, which is no doubt the maximum pressure, which is constant at rho GH. So my dear, longitudinal stress at any section will be coming out to be P max R by 2T, where P max is rho GH. So no doubt it is going to have a constant value. So here sigma 1 is constant, here sigma 1 is not constant, here sigma 1 is not constant. So answer for this is going to be A. So this was our question number 6 and the answer for this is going to be A. Okay. So I feel you got it. The answer for this is 6 ka A. Moving further guys to question number 7. This is the question from the thermal stresses. This is the question from the thermal stresses. What it says, and if you see thermal stresses is the favorite topic of GATE peoples and generally they make good question from that. This is MSQ for 2 marks, means more than one option can be correct. So cylindrical bars P and Q have identical length, means their length are equal. Okay, lengths are equal. Then they are saying but are composed of different linear elastic material. The Young's modulus and coefficient of thermal expansion are, they can say Young's modulus and coefficient of thermal expansion of Q are twice than that of P. So you can see E of Q is 2 times E of P. Alpha of Q is 2 times alpha of P. So this is the case of bars in series. And they are saying the bars are held between rigid support as shown in the figure and the temperature is raised by delta T. Assume that the stress in the each bar is homogeneous and uniaxial. Denote magnitude of stresses as sigma 1 and 2. Which of the following are the correct statement? So they have given some options. So my dear, one by one we will see that. Let us see how to solve it. So first of all, we know that this is the bars in series. Bars in series. So when we are talking about the first bar, it will try to expand. So when it will try to expand, support reaction will be coming from here and one reaction will be coming from the second bar. And as a reaction, this will also apply a reaction here and second support will also give some reaction. So both the bars are under the same reaction by Newton's third law of motion. It is possible. Okay. So if we have this case, my dear, you know that for the first bar, for the second bar. So you will be writing delta of P as LP, alpha P, delta T we are saying as T. So I will say T. This is the thermal expansion happening. Then this is compressive. So minus R LP, AP, EP. Area is same. Similarly, when you will find out delta Q, LQ, alpha Q, T minus R LQ by AQ, EQ. So my dear, you know that alpha Q is 2 times alpha P. So my dear, this term is going to be double than this. So you can also write it as 2 times LP and LQ are same, LP, alpha P and T. Because LP and LQ are same, alpha Q is 2 times alpha P. And this term can be written as R, LP, LQ are same, area P, area Q are same and 2 times of EQ. EQ is 2 times of EP. So if you see, this term becomes double, this term becomes half. So this term is becoming double, it will increase the overall delta Q and this negative term is getting reduced, it will also increase. So overall we can say delta of Q is more than delta of P. So if delta of Q is more than delta of P, my dear, but as you know R by A ratio is same, so sigma 1 is equals to sigma 2. So what are the options we will be getting from this solution? The interface between P and Q moves to the left. Obviously it will move to the left because delta Q is more. And then they are saying sigma 1 is equals to sigma 2 D. Then this is not correct. This is not correct. So answer for this question number 7 is A and D. Moving further, guys. Moving further to question number 8. Once again, strength of material, numerical answer type question for 2 marks. If you see this question, a cylindrical bar has a length of L 5 meter. Cross section is 10 meters square. The bar is made up of a linear elastic material with a density of this Young's modulus 70 GPa. The bar is suspended as shown in the figure. So my dear, you know that when I will be taking a small bar like this is at a distance of x, dx is the length of bar. Okay. So my dear, you know we need to find out the strain energy due to the self weight. Okay. So we need to find out the strain energy due to the self weight. So if you see this small bar of dx length, for this the weight of this portion, I am showing you with the different color, the weight of this portion will be acting as a force. So Pxx is rho g, this is rho g into V. Okay, you can also write it as rho g ax. Now it will become mg. Okay, mg. So this is acting. So strain energy expressions are 0 to L Pxx square dx upon 2ae. So I feel you know the value of u as 0 to L. What is Pxx? Rho g ax ka square dx upon 2ae. I have already solved it for you. When you will solve it, you will be getting the expression to be rho square a L cube, rho square a L cube upon 6c, and all the values are given to us. Length, density and E all are given to us. So putting all these values, you will be getting the answer to be 2.09. I have already solved for you. 2.09 joule will be the answer. So 2.09 joule will be the answer for this question. Moving further, guys, question number 9. This is once again from strength of material. I feel this is from the torsion part. So if you see this question, a cylindrical transmitted shaft of length 1.5 meters and diameter 100 mm is made up of linear elastic material with a shear modulus of 80 GPa while operating at 500 RPM. The angle of twist across its length is found to be 0.5 degrees. The power transmitted by the shaft at this speed in kilowatts is. You need to find out the power. You know power is given as T into omega. And you know they have already mentioned you the theta value. Theta is TL by Gj. This value is 0.5 degrees. We will be converting it into radians because whenever theta comes without sine cos, we need to take the values in the radians. Taking that into radians, you will be getting the value of torque because all other values are given to you. G is given to you as 80 GPa and diameter is also given. Everything is given. So when you will be putting, even pi value is mentioned. So when you will be solving this, you will get the twisting moment. After solution is 4569. 4569.26 Newton meter. And my dear, when you get torque, you can find out power because they have already mentioned that 500 RPM. So it is torque 2 pi n by 60. This will give you the power to be 239.46 kilowatt. The answer was asked in the kilowatt. So we have rounded up to the 2 decimal places. Moving further, guys, to the next question. Question number 10. Now machine design questions started. Strength of material questions are over. So in machine design, this question was from the fatigue loading ascent diagram, 1 mark MCQ. The ascent diagram curve for a fatigue test for steel is shown. Which one of the following option is giving us the endurance limit? You know, endurance limit is corresponds to which speed? It is corresponding to 10 power 6. And after that, we assume the failure will never happen. So based on the studies we have done in the classes, we can say that after 4th point, the material will never fail. Because after that, if you're going to load less than S4, the component will never be coming on the failure line. So for that, answer should be D, that is S4. So guys, the answer for this question will be D. Moving to the next question, guys, question number 11. This is once again from the machine design of brakes. This question says, the braking system shown in the figure uses a belt to show down a pulley rotating clockwise direction. They have mentioned the direction of rotation as clockwise. They have said that force P is applied, the belt wraps around the pulley. They have given the angle of wrap as 270 degree. Coefficient of friction is 0.3. They have mentioned T1 and T2 are the tensions. So you can see here, okay, I will show you the figure from here. This is T1, this is T2. You already know when it is rotating like this, then to stop it, this tension should be T1, this tension should be T2. And you already know T1 by T2 is e to the power mu theta. Here theta is 270 degree, 270 pi by 180. So you will put this value and get the answer. The ratio will be coming out to be, as per my answer, my solution, official answer key, 4.11 is the answer. So guys, this was question number 11. This was not 11 in the paper. Okay, as I said, we are going subject wise. If you see the overall paper, we are going to solve all 65 questions, but in the subject wise manner. Because why we have done it in this way? So that when you will be looking at the solutions, definitely you have already given the paper. Then maybe some of the students have not completed the full syllabus. So whatever subject you want to see, you can see that. Moving to the production part. Now the last from my side. After me, Chandrasekhar sir will be coming for FM and HT. Moving further, guys. Next question is from 3 to 1 principle. If you remember, it is from jigs and fixture, MCQ of 1 mark. So a cubical part has to be accurately positioned first, arresting 6 degrees of freedom, then clamped in a fixture to be used for machining. Locating pins in the form of the cylinder with hemispherical tips are to be placed on the fixture for positioning. For different configuration of locating pins are proposed as shown in the figure. Which of the following is correct? MCQ, only one option is correct. You can see configuration P1 arrests 6 degree of freedom. You can see, my dear, configuration P1. You can see here, as usual, 3 pins are kept at the bottom, 2 on the side and 1 here. So you know these 3, 2, 1. 3 plus 2 plus 1, these 6 pins. Okay, so these 6 pins are going to stop the degrees of freedom. So my dear, now if you see the other configuration, here in place of 3 they have used 4 pins. It is becoming over constrained. Here in place of 2 they have used only 1, under constrained. Okay, and here it is going to be over constrained, obviously. So they have mentioned configuration P1 are a 6 degree of freedom, while configuration P2 and P4 are over and P3 is under constraint. So as I said, this and this are over constraint, this is under constraint. Over, why? Because more pins are used. Under, why? Less pins are used. That is perfect. Here and here, sorry, here and here are over constraint, this is under constraint, and this is perfect. So guys, answer A is correct. P2, although MCQ one option is correct, let's see other options. P2 has 6, wrong it is, because P1 and P3 are, they have mentioned P1 and P3 are over constraint, which is not. Similarly, C and D are also the wrong answers. So guys, I can say once again, P2, P4, over constraint. P3, under constraint. P1 is the perfect one. Moving further, this was MCQ for 1 mark. Moving further to question number 13, guys. This question was from the welding operations. Theory question, it was MSQ for 1 mark. 2 surfaces P and Q are to be joined together. In which of the given joining operations there is no melting of the 2 surfaces P and Q for creating the joints? You know, my dear, there are 3 types of process in the welding we see. One is where the filler material is melted, plates are also melted. For that, arc welding is there, resistance welding is there. Then there are, sorry, not resistance, arc welding is there. And there are some other where plates are not going to melt, filler materials are not there, like solid state welding. Then we are having the operations where plates do not melt, but filler material melts. They are coming under solid liquid type of welding, or they are also said to be like adhesive operations, what you have seen. So guys, arc welding is wrong answer. Spot welding is wrong answer. Because here plate will melt, flux will melt, filler material will melt. Here plate will melt. So answer will be adhesive bonding and brazing. Because in soldering, brazing and adhesive bonding, we know parent metal, the plates do not melt. So moving further to the next question. Question number 14 from casting, once again MSQ of 1 mark. I already told you many times in the YouTube sessions, in the classes, that MSQ, if it is theoretical, going to be more dangerous. The same thing happened here also. In a metal casting process to manufacture parts, both patterns and mold provide shape by dictating where the material should or should not go. Which of the following options are correct? If you see, when we were taking the session related to the, you can say when exam was there, in that session also we have given the correct answer for this question. And if you see, the same answer key was given by the GATE people. I told you that molds can be used to make the pattern. Yes, molds can be used to make the pattern. Kya? Molds are used to make the patterns in the case of investment casting. When you make the wax patterns, you know, molds can be used to make the pattern. Okay, so sorry, pattern can be used to make the molds. So this option will be patterns can be used to make the molds. So here mold will be replaced by pattern. Okay, so this is a misprint in this slide. So here you will get pattern, here you will get mold. This is also correct because patterns are made by mold in investment casting. In normal casting, whenever molds are made, they are made with respect to the pattern because you put the pattern to make the mold cavity. So that is why this and this option are correct. Now they are saying mold walls indicate the boundary within which the molten part will allowed. Yes, mold cavity is that part where molten metal is going on. Like if I am having this as mold cavity, okay, this is the entire mold, let us say. From here molten metal is entering, this is the riser. Then definitely, my dear, if all around you have the molding sand, definitely in this region molten metal is going to come. And as this cavity is made with the help of pattern, obviously molding sand is not allowed in this portion. So obviously the answer is going to be A, because it says that this boundary will not allow the mold to come and this boundary will allow the molten metal to come. So yes, A is going to be the right answer, whereas C is not correct because it is opposite to A. So this was question number 14, my dear, from my end. Moving further to the next question. Now, my dear, this is from metal cutting, 2 marks MCQ. Let us see the question. In an ideal orthogonal cutting experiment, a figure is also shown for this. This is the figure given, guys. Okay. So you can see this is the figure given. Phi is the shear angle, alpha is the rake angle. All these things are given to us. They have also mentioned this diagram. Okay. So let us move to the statement again. So the statement says, in an ideal orthogonal cutting experiment, the cutting velocity V is 1 meter per second. 1 meter per second. The rake angle of the tool is 5 degree and the shear angle phi is known to be 45 degree. Okay, this is known to be 45 degree. Then, my dear, applying the ideal orthogonal cutting model, consider two shear planes PQ and RS close to each other. They have given this figure. PQ and RS. You know, there is something called as thickness of deformation zone. So if we are going to show this figure like this, this is said to be the thickness of primary deformation zone when we were showing this figure. And if we are talking about the velocity triangle, then you also know that here is, okay, let me make this again. We are going to have cutting velocity, chip velocity and shear velocity. This is shear velocity, chip flow velocity, and this is going to have the cutting velocity. So this angle is alpha, this angle is phi. So this is 90 minus alpha. So my dear, what will be this? This is going to be 180 minus 90 minus alpha minus phi. So my dear, you know this is a triangle. We can use the velocity triangle now, because the question says that assuming that the perpendicular distance between PQ and RS to be delta, which is thickness of deformation zone 25 microns. They are saying what is the value of shear strain rate that the material undergoes at the shear zone. So you already know, for that I need the shear velocity, because if you want to find out the shear strain rate, then shear velocity but a thickness of that deformation zone will be the answer for this. So to find out shear velocity, my dear, I am going to use what? I will be using for that the velocity triangle, the sine rule. You can see that. So I will be using the sine rule. What it will say us? It will be giving me Vs divided by sine 90 minus alpha. Okay, and Vf divided by sine phi. Then V divided by sine 180 minus 90 minus alpha minus phi. So when you will use this, you will get the value of Vs, because V is known to us, phi is known to us, alpha is known to us. So when you will calculate this, you will get the shear velocity to be equals to 1.3 meter per second. Once you will be getting this, you need to find out shear strain rate, which is Vs by thickness. So it is 1.3 meter per second, 25 microns. This type of question have already been seen in the production industrial paper, and the answer for this will be coming out to be 5.2 into 10 to the power 4 second inverse. So this will be the answer, guys, for this question. Moving further to the next question. This question was from Computer Integrated Manufacturing, SIM. This is MCQ for 2 marks. A CNC machine has one of its linear positioning axis, as shown in the figure, consisting of a motor rotating a lead screw, which in turn moves the nut horizontally on which a table is mounted. The motor moves in distance rotational steps of 50 steps per revolution. So my dear, we are given NS as 50 steps per revolution. Then the pitch of the screw is 5 mm. The pitch of the screw is 5 mm. Then he is saying the total horizontal traverse length of table is 100 mm. What is the total number of controllable location at which a table can be positioned in the axis? If you see this question, you already know the BLU formula. You were writing as P divided by NS into gear ratio. Gear ratio is not given, you will take it as 1. So you will be getting this to be 5 divided by 50. So it will be 1 by 10. So it will be 0.1 mm per step. You know, whenever stepper motor is used, the motor is having some steps, which is mentioned as this is having 50 steps. So my dear, you know that 0.1 mm per step is the rotation, and he is saying that 100 mm we need to move. So my dear, if you divide this 100 mm divided by this 0.1 mm per step, it will be coming out to be 1000. So in 100 mm travel, we will be having 1000 controllable locations, because whenever stepper motor rotates, for one pulse it rotates by one step, for one pulse it rotates by one step, for one pulse it rotates by one step. So after every pulse the position is controllable, because you can say after every pulse it is going to move one step. So we will be having 1000 steps for 100 mm. So 1000 locations will be the controllable ones. Moving further, guys, question number 17. This is from material science. Some people will say, sir, unexpected. But if you see the classes in the vision gate batch, when I have taken material science, I don't know how intuitions work. At that time, when I was teaching this topic, I have written there for GATE 2023, and the question came. Okay, so this is from the density calculation. So the atomic radius of hypothetically FCC metal is √2 by 10 nanometer. So my dear, atomic radius means root 2 by 10 nanometer. The atomic weight of the metal is, it is 24.092 gram per mole. They have given the Avogadro number, that is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, and they are saying find out the density of the metal. Volume density is given as what? So my dear, when you will be finding out the volume density, the formula for that was derived as average number of atoms into atomic weight. Average number of atoms, the unit is atoms. Atomic weight is gram per mole divided by Avogadro number. This is atoms per mole. Then volume of unit cell is A cube, centimeter cube. So if you see, answer was asked in kg per meter cube. So atom will get cancelled out, mole will get cancelled out. But there is still a thing that it is FCC. For FCC, the number of atoms are 4, average number of atom. Atomic weight is 24.092. To make it kg, I will say 10 power minus 3 divided by Avogadro number 6.023 into whatever it is given, 10 power 23 or 25, which they generally give it. Then A cube. A for FCC is 2 root 2r. You know that. For BCC it is 4r by root 3. So when you will be putting 2 root 2, and what is r? R is root 2 by 10 nanometer. Root 2 by 10 nanometer into 10 power minus 9. So when you will be doing this 2 root 2 r, so A ka cube you need to take. When you will be putting all these values, the answer is very simple, and you will be getting the answer I have calculated for you as 25. 2500 will be coming. Yes, 2500 kg per meter cube. So we got the answer for 17 question. Let us see the next question, guys. It is question number 18. NAT for 2 marks. Once again from material science. A steel sample with 1.5% weight. So they have mentioned this 1.5% weight, okay, at 1100 degrees Celsius. And they are also saying that a part of the iron cementite phase diagram is shown in the figure. The ratio of the pro-eutectite cementite content to the total cementite content. So you need to find out the ratio. By looking at the question, you will get an idea. We need to go for the phase rule here. So first of all, we will find out the mass of pro-eutectoid. So mass of pro-eutectoid will be written as 1.5 minus 0.8, 1.5 minus 0.8 divided by 6.67 minus 0.8. After solving this, we will be getting as 0.1186. I have already solved it for you. And then you need to find out the total cementite. Okay. So you need to find out the total. So mass Fe3C. You will be having this time 1. Okay, this is 1.5. This is the minimum solubility, maximum solubility for alpha, minus 0.035, 6.67 minus 0.035. So when you will be solving this, you will be getting it 0.2197. It is 0.2197. You need to find out the ratio of this to that. So ratio of 0.1186 to 0.2197. The answer will be coming out to be, guys, 0.54. 0.54. Moving further. Guys, this was a question which is using the concept of both industrial and production. So it is also using the concept of industrial engineering and production. What is industrial engineering concept here? The Six Sigma technique. So when we are talking about the Six Sigma technique, the normal distribution curve is made by this. This is said to be the mean value. Okay, and you know, this is said to be the Six Sigma. So this is nothing but the spread we are talking about. Sigma is the standard deviation here. So what they have mentioned in the question is a part produced in high volumes is dimensioned as shown in the figure. This is D1, this is D2, it is C. The machining process making this part is known to be statistically in control based on sampling data. The sampling data shows that D1 follows a normal distribution. So mu for D1 is nothing but 20 mm and sigma for D1 is 0.3 mm. Then mu is mean. This is actually, you study a chapter in industrial, that is quality control. Even those who prepared for ESC paper 1, they study it as standards and quality practices. So there also it comes. Okay. So mu D2 will be mean of 35. And the standard deviation sigma D2 will be, this is given as 0.4. So we got these 4 values, and what the examiner is saying after that, as you know that it is mentioned, okay, C is arrived out in a sufficiently large number of parts. This is C. Then to be considered under 6 sigma process, the upper limit of C should be. So they are asking the upper limit of C. So some student may be thinking this is directly from the concept of what we study as tolerance sink. But this question using not only the concept of tolerance sink, but also for the quality control. Okay. So that you study in the 6 sigma techniques industrial engineering. So if you are going to solve it as C is coming from D2 only, so we can say that standard deviation of D2 का square is standard deviation of D1 का square plus standard deviation of C का square. So from here you can get the standard deviation of C as standard deviation of D2 का square minus standard deviation of D1 का square. So this will give you the standard deviation for C as what we will be getting after solving as 0.265 mm. So my dear, okay, is it correct? Yes. Okay. So if you find out the mean of C will be mean of D2 minus mean of D1. So you know mean of D1 is given to you as 20 and 35. So it will be 35 minus 20. We will be getting for this 15 mm. Yes. So you need to find out the C of upper. So you know for that we need to use the 6 sigma technique. So to get the maximum we will be just saying that it is mean of C plus 6 sigma C. After that 15 plus 6 times of 0.265. Answer will be coming out to be as 16.54 mm. I hope this is the right answer. Moving further to question number 20th. This was a new type of question from CMM. It was actually using the regression analysis. A coordinate measuring machine CMM is used to determine the distance between surface SP and SQ. You can see there is a surface SP and surface SQ. And they are saying that approximately cuboidal shape part SP is declared as a datum as per the engineering drawing used manufacturing the part. The CMM is used to measure 4 points P1, P2, P3, P4, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 on surface SQ. A regression procedure is used to fit the necessary planes. The distance between two fitted planes will be. If you see the distance, if you see this P1, P2, P3, P4, if you see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, if you see all the dimension have Y coordinate to be 0. So if in all the P1, P2, P3, P4, we have Y coordinate to be 0. So it means this entire surface can be thought in XZ plane. It can be thought in XZ plane. So my dear, then if that is thought to be in XZ plane, then to find out the distance between these two, as you need to say that the distance between the two fitted planes, then if it is in XZ plane, then the distance will be measured in y. So my dear, for that you will be taking the average value. Here coordinate is 6, second is 6, then 4, then 6. When you will take the average 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 by 4, you will get answer to be 5. So my dear, answer is 5 mm for this. So this was a new type of question, guys, from CMM. Moving further, this was NAT for 2 marks. Moving further to question number 21. This is one more new type of question. A lot of surprises this year for GATE students, mechanical student. A solid part. This is mentioned to us. Then of polymer material is to be fabricated by additive manufacturing. Here name additive manufacturing is mentioned, but if you see the question, it is majorly based upon the machining time calculations. So fabricated by additive manufacturing in square shaped layer starting from the bottom of the part working upward. The nozzle diameter of the AM machine is A by 10. So you can see there is some nozzle which will be starting cutting and its size is given as A by 10. Okay. And my dear, then they are also saying that, and the nozzle follows a linear serpentine path parallel to the sides. Means it will be cutting the material like linearly. So when it will be going linearly like this and then in the y-axis both the ways. So he is saying that the square layer with a feed rate of A by 5. So my dear, feed rate is given as A by 5. Then my dear, they are saying ignore any tool path motion other than those involved in adding material and any other delays between layers or the serpentine scan lines. The time taken to fabricate this part is. Let us take this part to be A, this part to be B, and this part to be C. So we will be calculating the time for making part A, as the name is additive manufacturing. You are adding the materials here and then you will be making this A, B and C. So my dear, when you will be making this is given as A by 10 and this total length is 3A. Okay. And similarly this is given as 1.5A. So my dear, it has to move this complete distance. Okay. And also then this type of layer, it has to move in this direction also up to the distance of 1.5A. So my dear, we need to find out the number of passes in this way, then in this way, and after that we can find out the time. Okay. So we will start our discussion. So my dear, if you want to find out the total time, it is TA plus TB plus TC. So when we are talking about TA, this is 3A given to us. So if you will be saying that this 3A, I want to find out some number of passes NP. I am doing the calculation for A part, then I will be repeating for B and C. For this you can say 3A is the total distance to be traveled. A by 10 is the nozzle tip, nozzle diameter. So by solving this, you will be getting the answer to be number of passes as 30. Similarly, when you will go in the upward direction, then this is for 1.5A. So I am showing this as NU as 1.5A divided by A by 10. So I feel this will be coming out to be 15. Let me check. I have done the calculations for you. Yes, it is 15. Then my dear, if you will see that A by 5 is the feed rate given. So when the feed rate is given as A by 5, then my dear, when you will be finding out the time for that, it is 3A divided by the feed rate. Then you will find out 3A divided by A by 5. So you will be getting the 15. So this I am finding out that if this is 3A and you know that A by 5 is the feed rate. So A by 5, is there any unit mentioned? Mm per minute. So this is mentioned as mm per minute. So my dear, this will be coming out to be in mm per minute. The answer will be coming out to be minute. Okay. So my dear, once we have calculated this, now the time required for A first part, what will be that? If you want to find out the time required for the first part A, we have found this 15. We will be multiplying it with 30 and 15 now. 30 and 15. So what you will be getting after multiplying this 15 into 30 into 15, we will be getting the total time to be 6750 minute. 6750 minute. Similar calculation you need to do for the B part. When you will be doing the similar calculation for the B, what you will be getting, I am showing you in short. Like in place of this 3a, you will get 2a. So 2a by a by 10, this will become 20. Okay. Then this is, you are having a. So a divided by a by 10, this will become 10. Okay. And this is going to be 2a by a by 5. 2a by a by 5 will be 10. So this will be 10. So 10 into 10 into 20. 10 into 10 into 20. 10 into 10 into 20 will be 2000 minutes. Similarly, you need to do for the C. For C, my dear, this is A. So A by 10, this will become 10. Then this height is 0.5. 0.5 by A by 10, this will become 5. And this is A divided by A by 5. This will become 5. So it means 10, 5, 5. 10, 5, 5. 10, 5, 5. The answer will be 250 minutes. When I will be adding all this, the total time is T of A, T of B, T of C, 9000 minutes. Okay. This was a lengthy question and a very new type of question. So first of all, we calculated how many number of time this have to go in this 3A, then in this. Then we have found out the time based on the feed rate. So we have multiplied the number of passes in horizontal, number of passes in vertical into that time. Okay. Then that will give you the exact total time for A. Is it clear? Yes, this is how we got it. So here we got the answer. This is from metrology and inspection. Optical flat is the topic. An optical flat is used to measure the height difference between a reference slip gauge A and slip gauge B. Upon viewing via the optical flat, a monochromatic light of wavelength 0.5 microns. Number of fringes are 12 per 15 mm. And they are also saying the length, the distance is 45 mm. You need to find out the height difference. Delta H, the formula for that is n lambda by 2 into G. You can see n is 12 fringes, 0.5, 2 into what is G? Okay, 12 fringes per 15 mm, 45. Answer will be 9 microns. 9 microns will be the answer. So guys, this was question number 22. Moving to the last one. This was the question related to stress strain diagram. They have given the sigma to be 400 into strain to the power 0.3. They have mentioned the true stress, true strain diagram. So you know that for ultimate tensile strength, N will become equals to epsilon. So N is 0.3, that is exponent. When you will use this, you will get sigma ultimate strength 400, 0.3 to the power 0.3. And you will solve it and get the answer to be 278.7. This is not the answer actually. This will give you the ultimate strength. This is, you are using the true stress, true strain diagram. But you need to answer about the engineering ultimate stress. So for engineering ultimate stress, you will be using this sigma. You can see sigma true also. You can also say this as sigma true because it is from true stress strain diagram. So if you remember, okay, if you remember that the relation. If you remember the relation, epsilon T is ln 1 plus epsilon E. This was the relation. So when you will be using this, guys, when you will be using this, you will get the true strain to be 0.35. 0.35. And this you are getting as the true stress. So if you want to find out the engineering stress, you know that true stress is engineering stress into 1 plus epsilon. So now we got the values, and when you will put this value, then you will be getting the engineering stress is to be true stress by and 1 plus epsilon. You will be getting the value of engineering stress to be 206.55 MPa. So guys, this is how we have calculated. Actually, they have asked the engineering stresses, and we were using first of all the true stresses. So first we found out the true stress, then engineering, then true strain, then engineering stress. So my dear, with this we have completed the question of SOM, machine design and production. Now Chandra sir would be coming for fluid mechanics and other subjects, and then other faculty, Suraj sir, Sonu sir, all will be coming. So this is how we are covering all the question of GATE 2023. So guys, thanks for watching. Let us continue for next question.
Thank you, Dheeraj sir, for the wonderful explanation. So guys, this is Chandrasekhar. I will discuss the solution for fluid mechanics and the heat transfer. So first of all, I will discuss the solution for the fluid mechanics. The first question which came in GATE 2023 was this one. Air having a density of 1.2 kg per meter cube, viscosity is given, flows over a flat plate with a free stream velocity of 2 meters per second. The wall shear stress at a location 15 mm from the leading edge is tau W. What is the wall shear stress at a location of 30 mm from the leading edge? So first of all, we need to find out whether the flow is laminar or turbulent, whether the boundary layer is laminar or turbulent. So try to find out the Reynolds number and check, that is rho u infinity x by mu, or we can write it as u infinity x by kinematic viscosity. So at 30 mm, if we will find out the Reynolds number at 30 mm, then it will be free stream velocity is 2 meters per second into the distance from the leading edge is 30 mm, 30 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter, divided by kinematic viscosity is given as 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 5. So at 30 mm from the leading edge, the Reynolds number is coming out to be 4000, which is less than 5 into 10 to the power 5. So at both the location, the Reynolds number will be less than 5 into 10 to the power 5. So the boundary layer will be laminar. The boundary layer will be laminar, and for laminar boundary layer, the wall shear stress is inversely proportional to root x. For laminar boundary layer, the wall shear stress will be inversely proportional to root x. So if we will find out tau naught, the ratio of tau naught 2 to the tau naught 1 is equal to under root of x1 by x2. X is the distance from the leading edge. x1 is 15 mm divided by 30 mm. So we can say tau 2 or tau naught 2 is equal to tau naught 1, that is tau W into 1 by root 2. So option D is the right answer for this one. Option D. Let us move to the next one. Question number 25. Again from the fluid mechanics MCQ for 1 mark. Consider incompressible laminar flow of a constant property Newtonian fluid in an isothermal circular tube. Isothermal circular tube. The flow is steady with fully developed temperature and velocity profiles. The Nusselt number for this flow, it is actually the question from the heat transfer. The Nusselt number for laminar internal flow. If the internal flow in a pipe is laminar, so you must know that the Nusselt number is constant. It is neither be a function of Reynolds number nor the Prandtl number. The value of this constant will be different for different situation. For isothermal circular tube, the value is 3.66. And for constant wall heat flux condition, the value of Nusselt number will be 4.36. So the answer to this one, because it is the laminar flow, for turbulent flow, it depends on Reynolds number as well as Prandtl number. So it is neither dependent on Reynolds number nor the Prandtl number. Option A will be the correct answer for this one. Let us move to the next one. Fluid mechanics, the velocity field of a certain 2D flow is given by this expression, where k is 2 second inverse, the coordinates x and y are in meter, assuming gravitational effect to be negligible. If the density of the fluid is 1000 kg per meter cube and the pressure at the origin, that is 0, 0, is 100 kilopascal, what is the pressure at a location? 2 meter and 2 meter. X is equal to 2 meter and y is equal to 2 meter. So we need to develop the relation between, we need to develop the expression for pressure, how the pressure varies. So if we talk about the Navier-Stokes equation, according to the Navier-Stokes equation, minus del P plus rho G plus mu into del square V is equal to density into acceleration vector. So in the given condition, G is ignored, G will be ignored, and if we compare this expression, velocity expression, with our general expression ui cap plus vj cap, it is 2D flow, so u will be equal to kx, and the value of k is 2, so it will be 2x, and v is equal to minus ky, that is equal to minus 2y, k will be equal to 2. Now if we write x component of this Navier-Stokes equation, so mu into del square v is equal to 0, this will also be 0. If we take the double derivative of u with respect to x, then it will be 0. So it will be minus of del p by del x is equal to rho into ax, right? Similarly, minus of del p by del y is equal to rho into ay, and we need to write the expression for ax and ay. Look, so del p by del x is equal to minus times rho into ax. What is ax? Del u by del t plus u into del u by del x plus v into del u by del y for 2D flow. Local plus convective, u is independent of time, it is steady flow, and u is a function of u is equal to 2x and v is equal to minus 2y. U is a function of x only, so del u by del y will be equal to 0. So del p by del x will come out to be minus rho times u, that is 2x, into del u by del x, that is 2. So it will be minus 4 rho into x. Now if we integrate with respect to x, integrate this expression with respect to x, so p is equal to minus 4 into rho, that is constant, x square by 2, plus the constant, because pressure for 2D flow, pressure will be a function of x as well as y, so the constant of integration can be a function of y. The constant of integration can be a function of y, right? And now if we differentiate with respect to x or differentiate with respect to y, so we will get del p by del y is equal to f dash y. And what is the value of f dash y? And again we can write del p by del y is equal to minus rho into ay, or we can write minus rho. Ay can be written as del v by del t plus u into del v by del x plus v into del v by del y. Acceleration, local plus convective. V is also independent of time and v is independent of x. V is independent of x. It is a function of x only, u, and v is a function of y only. So del p by del y can be written as minus rho into v, that is minus 2y, into del v by del y, that is minus 2. So it will be minus 4 rho into y. That is the value of del p by del y. So if we put the value of del p by del y here, then it will be minus 4 into rho into y. Isn't it? Minus 4 rho y. Now integrate this. If we integrate, this is our expression. Now what we are doing is, we are differentiating it to find out the value of Fi. Now again, if we integrate, then we will, this, if we integrate this, then Fi will be equal to, Fi will be equal to minus 4 rho into y square by 2 plus constant of integration c. So this is the value of Fi, and if we put the value of Fi here, then we will get, this 2 get cancel out, this will also get cancel out. Then what we will get is P is equal to, our expression will be P is equal to minus 2 rho x square, minus 2 rho x square, and then minus 2 rho y square plus c, minus 2 rho y square plus constant of integration c. Or we can write it as, if we take minus 2 common and rho common, then it is x square plus y square plus constant of integration c. To find the value of c, we need one condition at 0, 0, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Pressure is given as 100 kilopascal. It is given as 100 kilopascal, or we can write it as 100 into 10 to the power 3 Pascal. So if we put the value here, then C will be equal to 100 into 10 to the power 3. The final expression for pressure will be equal to minus 2 rho x square plus y square plus 100 into 10 to the power 3, and the unit will be Pascal. The unit will be Pascal. Now at 2, 2, we need to find out the value at 2, 2. Then the pressure will be equal to minus 2 rho is 10 to the power 3 x square, that is 2 square, plus y square, that is also 2 square, plus 100 into 10 to the power 3 Pascal. If you convert it into kilopascal, then it will be minus 2 into 4 plus 4 plus 100 kilopascal. What is the answer? Minus 16 plus 100. That is equal to 84 kilopascal will be the answer for this one. The question carried 2 marks. It is NAT type question. So 84 kilopascal will be the correct answer for this one. Right? So the question will be solved using the Navier-Stokes equation. The next one, again NAT 2 marks. Question number 27. Consider a unidirectional fluid flow with the velocity field given by this expression. U is a function of x and time, where u 0, t is equal to 1. If the spatial homogeneous density field varies with the time, so density is varying with time, so it is compressible flow. The value of u at x is equal to 2 and t is equal to 1 will be. Because it is one dimensional and compressible flow. So if we write the continuity equation, mass conservation equation for one dimensional compressible flow, so the expression will be del rho by del t plus del by del x rho into u is equal to 0. This will be the continuity equation. So find out the value of del rho by del t from here. If we differentiate with respect to time, then del rho by del t will be equal to 0.2 into minus t with respect to time, na? So it will be 0.2 into minus 1 minus 1 into e to the power minus t, that is the value of del rho by del t, plus rho is constant, then del u by del x, or because it is 1d, so we can write it as du by dx. तो लिख सकते हैं du by dx. Du by dx is equal to 0. So if we find out du by dx is equal to, this will be 0.2 e to the power minus t upon rho. Rho is equal to 1 plus 0.2 e to the power minus t. And if we integrate this, integrate with respect to x, then our expression u, which is a function of x and t, will be given by 0.2 e to the power minus t upon 1 plus 0.2 e to the power minus t into x plus constant of integration c. And to find out the value of c, u 0 comma t is given as 1 at 0, x is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1. Sorry, at 0 comma t, time is equal to t. So u will be equal to 1. U is equal to 1. Put the value. If u is equal to 1, x is equal to 0, then c will be equal to 1. The value of c will be equal to 1. So our expression u as a function of x and t is equal to 0.2 e to the power minus t upon 1 plus 0.2 e to the power minus t into x plus 1. That will be the expression, right? Now we need to find out the value of u at 2 comma 1. It is x is equal to 2, at x is equal to 2 and t is equal to 1 and t is equal to 1, 2 comma 1, x is equal to 2 and t is equal to 1. The value will be equal to u is equal to 0.2 e to the power minus 1 upon 1 plus 0.2 e to the power minus 1 into 2 plus 1. If we simplify this expression e to the power minus 1, then if we simplify, the value of u is around 1.137. It will be 1.137 meter per second. So the answer to this question will be 1.137 meter per second. Partial derivative, the question, this time the questions were asked from the partial derivative concept, right? The next question from the hydrostatic force, wonderful question. There are multiple fluids kept in a container. Rho is equal to 1000 and this is, let us say, 2 rho, because the density of the lower fluid is 2000 kg per meter cube. The figure shows two fluids held by a hinged gate. Hinge is here. The atmospheric pressure is 100 kilopascal. The moment per unit width is 1. About the base of the hinge is in terms of kilojoule per meter or kilonewton meter per meter. Acceleration due to gravity will be taken as 9.8. So if we draw the pressure prism, the gauge pressure at the top will be equal to 0. So the pressure prism will be like this. So the pressure varies linearly with depth in case of incompressible fluid according to hydrostatic law. As per the hydrostatic law, the variation of pressure is linear. So there are two pressure prisms and the width is unity. Let us say this is how the pressure prism will be. This will be unit width. So F1 can be calculated by using the concept of volume of the pressure prism. Similarly, F2 we can calculate. One is a triangle. First pressure prism is a triangle. The second pressure prism is a trapezium. So if we write F1, that is volume of the triangle, area of the triangle multiplied by the width. Width is 1 meter. Width is 1 meter into the plane of the board. So F1 is equal to half into base. That is equal to, let me call it as rho. Let me call it as 2 rho to keep our analysis simple. The distance of the height of the lower fluid is 2 meter, height of the upper fluid is 1 meter. Half into rho into g into 1, that is base. Height is equal to 1 and width is again 1. That is in Newton. Right? Similarly, F2, area of the pressure prism 2 multiplied by the width, that will give the volume. So for the trapezium, half of sum of parallel sides, this is rho into g into 1 and this will be rho into g into 1 and the bottom, the pressure at the bottom will be equal to rho into G into 1 plus 2 rho is the density of the lower fluid into G into 2, isn't it? So this distance can be written as, this will be equal to 2 to the 4, 5 into rho into G. This distance will be 5 rho G. So half into sum of parallel side, that is rho into G into 1 plus 5 rho into G into 5 rho G, right? Into height of the pressure prism or the height of the trapezium, that is 2, into width is 1. That will be the expression for F2, right? So it will be this 2 getting cancelled out. So it will become 6 rho G. We can call it as rho G by 2 F1, and F2 will be equal to 6 rho G. These are the value of F1 and F2. Once we get the value of F1 and F2, then we take the moment about the bottom hinge. So if we take moment about hinge, now we need to find out the center of pressure, the point of application of this hydrostatic force. So F1 is, how to find out the center of pressure? It is the centroid of the pressure prism. Because the pressure prism is a triangle, so it will act at 2/3 by 1 from the top, from the free surface. So this distance will be equal to, so we can write moment about the hinge is equal to F1 multiplied by, this is 1/3 into 1 plus this height is 2 plus, now we will write F2 into the centroid of this pressure prism. Do you know how to calculate the centroid of the pressure prism? When it is a trapezium. Height of the trapezium is, let us say, H. This is A, one side is A, another is B. So from the bottom, this will be equal to H by 3 2A plus B upon A plus B. या तो ऐसे कर सकते हैं, या इसको दो पार्ट में ब्रेक करके भी कर सकते हैं. अगर ये फॉर्मूला आपको नहीं ध्यान है, द सेंट्रोइड ऑफ द ट्रिपीजियम फ्रॉम द बेस, अगर ये फॉर्मूला नहीं ध्यान है तो यू कैन ब्रेक दिस सेकंड प्रेशर प्रिज्म इनटू 2 पार्ट्स, ट्राइंगल एंड रेक्टेंगल, उसके साथ उससे भी कर सकते हैं. सो आवर एक्सप्रेशन विल बी F2 multiplied by H by 3, height is 2, so it will be 2 by 3. रो कॉमन ले लेते हैं, रो जी कॉमन ले लेते हैं यहां से. सो इट विल बी रो इंटू जी, देन 2A, that is 2 into 1 plus B. What is B? That is 5 upon A plus B, that is 1 plus 5. ये होगा, दिस विल बी द एक्सप्रेशन. सो इसको सिंप्लीफाई करिए. तो अब हमारा एक्सप्रेशन मोमेंट अबाउट द बॉटम और हिंज इज इक्वल टू F1 इज इक्वल टू रो जी बाई 2 इंटू दिस डिस्टेंस 1 by 3 plus 2, 7 by 3 plus F2. The value of F2 will be equal to, ये रो जी तो रो जी से कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा क्योंकि बॉटम पे भी है टॉप पे भी है रो जी. दिस विल गेट कैंसिल आउट. देन F2 इज इक्वल टू 6 रो जी, 6 रो जी मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 2 by 3 इंटू 7 by 6, 2 by 3 into 7 by 6, isn't it? यही हुआ. इसको सिंप्लीफाई कर लीजिए. दिस 6 गेटिंग कैंसल आउट. सो रो इंटू जी इंटू 7 by 3 अगर हमने कॉमन ले लिया, देन इट विल बी 1 by 2 प्लस 2. यही होगा. सो रो इज 1000 into 9.8 into 7/3 into 5/2. सिंप्लीफाई कर दीजिए, ये आएगा न्यूटन मीटर पर मीटर में. And if you want to convert it into kilonewton, then divide by 1000. So it will be 9.8 into 7/3 into 5/2. That will be around 57.16. 57.16 kilonewton meter per meter. 57.16 will be the answer. 57.16 kilonewton meter per meter. I hope this is clear to everyone. Right? The next one from the dimensional analysis, again fluid mechanics. Normally the question from the dimensional analysis is not asked because it is a lengthy process, but this time they had asked a question from the dimensional analysis. An explosion at time t is equal to 0 releases energy at the origin in space filled with a gas of density rho. Subsequently, a hemispherical blast wave propagates radially outward as shown in the figure. R is the radius of the front of the hemispherical blast wave. The radius R follows this relationship, where K is the dimensional constant, T is the time, E is the energy, rho is the density. What is the value of this exponent A? This is A actually, exponent A. So using the given expression, R is equal to some constant, dimensionless constant, into T to the power A into E to the power B multiplied by rho to the power C. Use the Rayleigh method. Right? So radius, the dimension formula of radius is L1 is equal to constant is having 0 dimension, non-dimensional. Time is having the dimension T to the power 1 to the power A. What is the dimension of the energy? Energy is joule, or we can call it as Newton into meter. Newton is equal to mass into acceleration, kg meter per second square into meter. So the dimensional formula will be equal to, the dimension formula for E will be equal to m1 L2 T minus 2, isn't it? So m1 L2 T minus 2 to the power B, and the density is kg per meter cube, m1 L minus 3 to the power C. Separate the powers, so we can write it as m0 L1 T0 is equal to m to the power. What is m to the power? B plus C. B plus C. Then L to the power 2B plus or minus 3C. 2B minus 3C, then T to the power A, then minus 2B, A plus A minus 2B, isn't it? So if we equate the powers of M, L and T, so our expression will be B plus C is equal to 0. Equate powers of M, L and T. So the first will be B plus C will be equal to 0. B plus C is equal to 0. The second equation will be 2B minus 3C is equal to 1. 2B minus 3C is equal to 1. And the third expression is A minus 2B will be equal to 0. We need to find out the value of A. So from here we can say A is equal to 2B. If we find out the value of B, find out the value of B. B की वैल्यू कहां से मिलेगी? If we multiply this equation with 3, so it will be 3B plus 3C is equal to 0, and this will be 2B minus 3C is equal to 1. Add these two, then we will get 5B is equal to 1, or B is equal to 1 by 5. If B is equal to 1 by 5, then A will be equal to twice of 1 by 5, that is 2 by 5, or we can say 0.4 will be the answer. So 0.4 will be the answer for this one. These were the questions which were asked from the fluid mechanics. Now I will discuss some questions from the heat transfer which were asked in GATE 2023. First question was MSQ, 1 mark. Consider a lateral insulated rod. There is a rod which is insulated in lateral surface, right, of length L and constant thermal conductivity, assuming one-dimensional heat conduction in the rod. Which of the following steady state temperature profile? If the conduction is steady state, so Q stored will be equal to 0. There is no storage of energy because of steady state nature. Temperature is independent of time, right? Without internal heat generation, which of these profiles are correct? Q generation will also be equal to 0. If there is no energy storage, if there is no energy generation in the system, so we can say conduction equation or Fourier law, according to Fourier law, Q is equal to minus Ka into dt by dx will be constant, isn't it? If Q is constant, thermal conductivity is constant, the area normal to the direction of heat flow is constant. So we can say dt by dx will be constant, and we can say temperature as a function of x is linear. The temperature profile will be linear. If the temperature is more at this edge, then the heat flow will be towards left hand side. The temperature will decrease in the direction of heat flow. If the temperature is more at the inner surface, then the heat flow will take place towards the right hand side. So the options which are having the linear temperature profile along the length are correct. A and B both can be possible depending on which temperature is more, which is less. Either the heat flow will take place from left to right or from right to left. So A and B are the correct answer for this one. Without heat generation, without heat storage. All right. The next one, simple question from the heat exchanger. Consider a counterflow heat exchanger with the inlet temperature of two fluids, 1 and 2. One is a hot fluid, another is a cold fluid. The inlet temperature of these fluids are given, 300 Kelvin and 350 Kelvin. The heat capacity rate of the two fluids are given as, which is the product of mass flow rate into specific heat. For first fluid, it is 1000. For second fluid, it is 400. So if I ask you what is the minimum heat capacity rate, that is equal to 400 watt per Kelvin, isn't it? The effectiveness of the heat exchanger is 0.5. We need to find out the actual heat transfer rate. So effectiveness of a heat exchanger is the ratio of actual heat transfer rate to the maximum possible heat transfer rate. And maximum heat transfer rate can be possible in a counterflow heat exchanger of very large area when either TH1 is equal to TC2 or TH2 is equal to TC1. So Q maximum is equal to, what is the value of Q maximum? That is equal to C minimum multiplied by TH1, inlet temperature of hot fluid, minus inlet temperature of the cold fluid. Hot fluid is fluid 2, which is having higher temperature. Cold fluid is fluid 1, which is having the lower temperature. So we can say Q actual, which is effectiveness into Q maximum, that is equal to 0.5 is the effectiveness. C minimum is 400 into TH1, that is 350 minus 300. The unit will be watt. If you solve this, what will be the value you will be getting? इसको solve करेंगे तो it will be 10,000 watt. 10,000 watt. But the question is asking you to find out the value in kilowatt. So the correct answer is 10 kilowatt. The answer to this one is 10 kilowatt. Right? The next question, from the radiation shape factor, there is a cylindrical rod of length h. This is the cylindrical rod of length h and the diameter d, which is placed inside a cubical enclosure. It is kept in a cube. The length of the cube is, the side of the cube is L. S denotes the inner surface of the cube. Let me call it as surface 1 and surface 2. So S is equal to 2. So what will be the view factor or the shape factor for S to S? The self shape factor for the cube. So we need to find out F2 to 2 will be how much. So what we can say here is the radiation exchange will take place only when the outer surface of the cube is insulated from outer surface and the inner surface of the cylinder is insulated. Then only there is a radiation heat exchange. So this can be treated as enclosure. Cylinder and cube can be treated as a two surface enclosure. So according to enclosure theorem, F121 plus F122 is equal to 1, and the cylinder is having a convex surface and the flat surface. This is the convex surface and the side surface is a flat surface. So the self shape factor of a cylinder which is insulated from inside will be equal to 0. So F122 is equal to 1. F122, and from the reciprocity theorem, F221 is equal to A1 by A2 F122, and the value of F122 is equal to 1. So F221 is equal to A1 by A2. Again we apply the enclosure theorem, another enclosure theorem. We can say F221 plus F222 is also equal to 1, right? Our objective is to find out F222, that is equal to 1 minus F221. Or we can write it as 1 minus A1 by A2. Now, write the surface area for 1 and 2. A1 is a cylinder. Cylinder is having the peripheral area that is equal to pi dh. It is pi dh. And there are two surfaces, flat surfaces, pi by 4 d square this area and pi by 4 d square this area. So it will be twice of pi by 4 d square. That is the surface area for the cylinder 1, and A2, because it is a cube, it is 6L square. This will be the expression. So 1 minus, we can write it as pi dh plus pi by 2 d square divided by 6L square. This will be the answer, F221. The answer to this one will be option D. D is the correct answer for this one. Right? Another question, MSQ for 2 marks. A very large metallic plate of thickness D. D is the thickness of the plate. It is like this. The plate is like this. And thermal conductivity is cooled by a stream of air at a temperature of 300 Kelvin with a heat transfer coefficient H as shown in figure. The center line temperature of the plate is Tp. In which of the following cases can the lumped parameter model will be used to study the heat transfer in the metallic plate? So for lumped parameter to be used, Biot number should be less than 0.1. And what is the value of Biot number? Biot number is equal to H into LC characteristic length upon thermal conductivity of the metallic plate. What is the characteristic length? LC will be equal to volume per unit surface area of the plate, because the plate is exposed to the air on both the sides. So volume is, let me call is the area as A into thickness is D upon the total surface area. Thickness is very small compared to the area. So it will be 2A. So D by 2 will be the value of characteristic length. So it will be H by K into D by 2. This will give rise to Biot number. We need to check in which of the following cases Biot number will be less than 0.1. So if we talk about Biot number is equal to H into D by 2K. Let us find out the value of Biot number in these cases. So for first case, Biot number is equal to H, that is 10, into D, 1 mm, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 3, upon 2K. What is the thermal conductivity? 100 watt per meter Kelvin. Put all the parameter in their SI unit, then you will get the Biot number. So if we simplify this, how much is this? 10 by 2, that is 5 into 10 to the power minus 1. 5 into 10 to the power minus 5, sorry. 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. That is definitely very less compared to 0.1. So option A can be analyzed using the lumped system. If we talk about option B, Biot number in option B. Biot number in the second expression H, that is 100 into the thickness is 1 meter. The thickness is 1 meter here. 1 upon twice of thermal conductivity, that is 100. So it is 0.5. So it is not less than 0. In second case, it will be 0.5. So it is not less than 0.1. So B cannot be correct. B cannot be correct. Option C, for option C, Biot number H, again 100 into diameter is 1 meter upon 2 into thermal conductivity is 1000. So 1 by 20. How much is that? Option C, that is 0.05. Yes, that is less than 0.1. Option C is correct. And finally, if we check option D, Biot number is equal to H, that is 1000 into diameter, it is also 1 meter, and 2 into thermal conductivity, 2 into 1 watt per meter Kelvin. So it will be 500. That is also incorrect. So A and C, for this one, option A and C are the right answer. A and C. All right. So that is all for my subjects. Now I would like to invite Suraj sir to discuss the solution for the question for his subject. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Chandra sir, for the solutions of fluid mechanics and heat transfer. So now I'll be discussing the solutions of the theory of machine and the industrial engineering. If I talk about the overall, we can say the difficulty, the question difficulty or the level of question from theory of machine and industrial were very easy. If you're having the basic knowledge, I think you will be able to solve very accurately. So let us see this question. Two meshing gears, gear 1 and gear 2 with diametrical a pitch of 8 teeth per mm and angular velocity of omega 2 by omega 1 is 1 by 4 and have their centers equal to 30 mm apart. What is the number of teeth on the driver gear? That is 1. Now it's a very easy question. If you see, this is the central distance. Let us say this is C. Okay, so I can simply say they have directly given as C is equal to 30 mm, right? C equal to 30 mm and we can say your diametrical pitch is we can say PD that is equal to T1 by D1 is equal to T2 by D2, that is equal to, we can say, 8. Okay, and they're already given as omega 2 by omega 1 is equal to 1 by 4. Now they are asking you what is the number of teeth on gear number 1. Now it's very easy. It's very easy. If you try to see, we know that omega 2 by omega 1 is equal to T1 by T2 equal to D1 by D2, right? And that is equal to 1 by 4. Okay, so if I try to write the relation in terms of diameter, so I can say this is equal to D1 into 4 is equal to D2, or 4 times the D1 is equal to D2, right? So now, and one more thing that you can see is the central distance is given as 30 mm. So what is central distance? If I try to see, central distance is C is equal to central distance C is equal to, if I say this is your gear 1, right? This is your gear number 2. This is the central distance. So I can say C is equal to D1 plus D2 divided by 2. Okay, R1 plus R2, or I can say D1 plus D2 divided by 2. Now they are given as C value as to be 30 mm. So if it is 30 mm, so we can say that equal to 30. Okay, or we can say D1 plus D2 is equal to 30 into 2, or simply we can say that is equal to 60. So D1 is plus D2 is equal to 60 and D2 is equal to 4 times of D1. For after solving this, you will be getting the value of D1 exactly equal to D1 exactly equal to 12. Okay, D1 equal to 12 and your D2 will be equal to 2 into this will be 48. Okay, and that too in mm, because all the dimension they have given is in mm, right? So D1 is 12 mm, D2 is equal to 48 mm. Now they're asking, what is the value of number of teeth on gear number 1? That is, they're asking the value of T1. Okay, fine. So if you have calculated the value of D1, already we know that for when the two gears are meshing, can we simply say diametrical ratio will be same? Okay, I can simply say that the diametrical pitch, this T by T, because the module will be same. If module is same, definitely this value will be same. Or I can simply say this value, that is, we can say T1 by D1 is equal to, directly they have given us 8, that is equal to 8, right? So from here, I can say T1 is equal to 8 into 12, that is 96. So the number of teeth on the driver gear is coming out to be simply 96. The final answer you have to write as 96. Okay, very easy question from the theory of machine. Now let's proceed for the next problem, question number 35. The figure shows the block of mass M 20 kg attached to the pair of identical linear springs. There are two springs which are connected in parallel. So can we say what will be the K equivalent? Because these are connected in parallel, so we can say this is equal to twice of K, right? And they are given the value of K as 1000 Newton per meter. The block oscillates on a frictionless horizontal surface. Assuming free dimension, what's the time taken by the block to complete 10 oscillations? So if I'm able to calculate what's the time duration for one oscillation, directly multiplied by 10, we'll be getting for 10 oscillations, right? So from here, I can directly calculate the value of natural frequency of vibration. That is equal to K equivalent by M. K equivalent is 2 into K is 1000 and mass is they are given as 20, right? So solving this, you will be getting this to be 10 radian per second, right? So this is the value of omega n. So if this is 10 radian per second, now we can get the value of time period. What is time period? That is equal to 2 pi by omega n, right? So solving this, you will be getting this to be exactly 2 pi by 10 seconds for one oscillation. So 2 pi by 10 is for one oscillation. If I want to calculate for 10 oscillation, so I can say for 10 oscillations, that will be equal to 2 pi by 10 into 10, that is equal to 2 pi seconds. So that is nothing but 2 into 3.14, because they have simply stated that take pi is equal to 3.14. So answer is 6.28 second. So you have to write up to 2 decimals. So final answer is 6.28 second. Okay, so very easy question again from vibration, because I always tell the students, whenever you are preparing for GATE, vibration is the topic which you should not be skipping, specifically the natural vibration, because you're going to get very easy question from this topic. Okay, fine. So now let's proceed for the next problem from the theory of machine. Now, if I talk about this problem, this is a very interesting one. It's here, if you remember during the revisions also, I always tell you, please try to solve the questions from the velocity analysis, because you never know, almost 95% chances are there every time you're getting questions from this topic. So in this problem, it's basically we can use that concept very easily. There's a figure shows a wheel rolling without slipping on a horizontal plane. There's a wheel which is rolling without slipping in this direction, right? And a rigid with an angular velocity of omega 1. Okay, with an angular velocity of omega 1. A rigid bar PQ is pinned to the wheel at P while the end Q slides on the floor. So this end Q is basically sliding like this, right? So they're asking you what is the angular velocity omega 2, right? So for whenever you are getting questions like this, it's very easy. You try to find out the I centers and try to use the theorem of angular velocity. So let us use that particular discussion over here, right? So if I say, yeah, the question is like this. We are having a roller. Let's say I'm drawing a diagram like this. We are having a roller, right, whose center is given, which is having a point O, right? This is point O, and at some distance we are having point P. Okay, and this distance is it's already been given. This is equal to 2. This is equal to 2, right? The radius is 3 and this point is R. So let me draw it over here. This point is R, right? And this is hinged at this point. This rod is hinged at this point and this Q is sliding, and this is the angular velocity omega 2, right? So this is your omega 1, right? And this is connected over here. That point is Q, fine, and it is having an angular velocity of omega 2. So for ease or simplicity, what I'm doing is, because normally while solving any question from instantaneous center, we always try to assign one for the fixed link, right? So for easiness, what I'm doing is I'm assuming this as link number 3, okay, and I'm assuming this as omega 3, right? So this is link number 2 and this is your fixed link, that is link number 1. Okay, now let us identify the I centers. If I try to identify the I centers, so this will be your, because this is rolling without slip, it's directly given, wheel is rolling without slip. So we can simply say this will be your I 1 3, right? This will be I 2 3, fine, because this is link number 2, this is link number 3, this is the pin joint, and definitely this Q is sliding, so its I center will be somewhere located on this line. Okay, this I center will be somewhere located inside. Now if I try to remember the Kennedy's theorem, because there will be some relative velocity, so if I try to identify 3 I centers, whenever the links are having some relative velocity among them, then their I centers will always be lying in a straight line, right? So that means if I try to join these 2 points, it will be joining over here. So this is nothing but your I 1 2. Because this is your link number 2, which is having pure rolling or pure sliding. So definitely its I center will be located perpendicular to this particular, we can say, a horizontal surface. This is your I 2 3, right? Which is I'm denoting it as point P, which I'm denoting it as point P, right? Okay, this dimension is 2, this dimension is given as 3, this is 2. Let us suppose I'm assuming this angle as theta and this angle as theta. Now, considering I'm assuming this point as, let us say, this is P, Q, R, let us take it as S. Let us take this point as S, because we have not taken any S point. Yeah, we can take that point as S. Now, try to solve, now it's pure, we can say geometry, right? So if you take this triangle, O, P and R, right? This is theta, this is 2, this is 3. So from here, I can simply say, what is the value of tan theta? Tan theta is equal to 3 by 2. What is this length? This is 2, this is 3, this will be root of 13. So I can say, what will be cos theta? Cos theta is equal to 2 divided by root of 13, right? Why I'm writing like this? Because we'll be using this in this calculation. Because if I try to write the angular velocity, theorem of angular velocity, I can simply say omega 3 into I 1 3 I 2 3 is equal to omega 2 I 1 2 I 2 3. Okay, now what is I 1 3? This is point R. And what is I 2 3? This is point P. So we can say omega 3 into PR. Now PR distance we know, PR is nothing but equal to root 13. Okay, we already know. Fine. Is equal to omega 2. Now omega 2 into what is I12? I12 is over here, which I am assuming as point S, and I23 is over here, that is P. So we can say this is PS. So I only need to calculate this dimension PS, then my answer will be very easy to calculate. Now, how to calculate this PS? Can we say this PS distance is nothing but SR minus PR? If you try to visualize, what is this PS distance? PS is equal to your RS minus PR. PR we know, if I'm able to calculate this distance RS, my problem is solved. Now, if you try to see the dimension, there is one more dimension being given. They're saying that this distance is 8, right? And this distance is 2. So we can say QR is nothing but 10 meter. QR is 10 meter. Over to this diagram, if you try to take this bigger rectangle, that is this one. Okay, this is point S, this is point Q, this is theta, this is point R. So I know what is cos theta. Cos theta is equal to 2 by root 13, and that is also equal to RQ divided by RS. Right? And now RQ distance we already know, RQ is equal to 10 meter. Right? So this is 10. So RS is equal to, we can simply say RS will be equal to 5 root 13. RS equal to 5 root 13. Okay. Why we have calculated RS? Because if I'm able to calculate this RS, PR we know, we can get the value of PS. Now RS we know 5 root 13. 5 root 13 minus PR. What is PR? That is root 13. So solving this, we will be getting this to be 4 root 13. So we got the value of PS as 4 root 13. Now placing this value over here, now eliminating this. Okay. Now omega 3 into PRS root 13, omega 2, PS is 4 root 13. 4 root 13, cancelling root 13 on both the sides, we can say omega 3 is equal to 4 times omega 2. Now coming back to our original notation, our omega 3 was nothing but omega 1 only. I have assumed for calculation, so I can simply say omega 1 is equal to, right, omega 1 is equal to 4 times of omega 2. 4 times of omega 2. But we are getting the answers in terms of omega 2 is equal to omega 1. So we can simply say omega 2 is equal to 0.25 of omega 1. So final answer that we are getting is option D. Omega 2 is equal to 0.25 of omega 1. So I'm getting this value to be option D as a correct answer. Now coming to the next question. Now these were the question from the theory of machine. Now let's proceed for the industrial engineering. Now the question is very easy. If you have studied the inventory model, it's a straight away simple question by looking at the graph. Now it's saying that with respect to the reference to the economic order quantity model, which of the following option is correct? Right? So let us see the diagram. We are having a curve like this. So if you try to recall a very easy concept from inventory model, if I say this is your level of inventory, this is your cost, right? We know that there are multiple costs. We are having holding cost. Holding cost is equal to Q by 2 into CH, or we can say holding cost is directly proportional to Q. And second one is ordering cost. Ordering cost equal to annual demand by Q into CO, or we can say ordering cost is inversely proportional to Q, right? So if I try to plot it over here, I can simply say holding cost, because it is directly proportional to Q, it will be having a straight line. Okay, if I talk about ordering cost, it is inversely proportional. This will be your ordering cost, right? If I talk about total annual cost is nothing but the summation of all the costs. So if I try to club, you'll be getting this graph somewhere like this. Because this will be your economic order quantity, right? This one is Q star, only for additional information, right? So this is your total annual cost. Now coming back to our question. Question is, curve 1 represent total cost. Bilkul sahi. Curve 1 is your total cost. Total cost, right? Curve 1 represents the total cost, right? This is not correct. This is not correct. Okay, we can have some between A and D. So now curve 2 is basically directly proportional. We are having this holding cost. Curve 2 will be holding cost. P2 holding cost. P2 productive cost, not possible. Option A is the correct answer. Just by knowing only 2 information, I'm able to get the correct answer, right? So we are having total cost. This is holding cost. Now this is inversely proportional. So this curve number 3 is your ordering cost, and the last one that we are getting is curve 4. This one, the constant one. This is nothing but your production cost. That means somewhere it is basically similar to your fixed cost that we have studied in break-even analysis, right? So option A is the correct answer. Now moving towards the last question from industrial engineering that we have seen multiple number of times. We have solved these type of questions multiple number of times, right? There's a question from your LPP. Now question is, they are not asking you to identify the optimum value. They are only asking you, among all these regions, which one is the feasible region, right? So they have given some constraints, right? So let us try to plot this in the graph, and let us try to identify. Okay, let us try to identify. So let's see the first equation, that is x1 is less than equal to 45. So let me draw the graph. This is x1, this is x2, right? So first constraint we are having is x1 is less than equal to 45. Okay, let me write all the equations because it will be easy for me. x2 is less than equal to 50, less than equal to 50, right? Okay, next 10x1 plus 10x2 is greater than equal to 600. So 10x1 plus 10x2 greater than equal to 600, or we can say this is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 60 greater than equal to 1, right? So this is the third constraint. I'm writing the constraint in the box format so that we'll be easily able to plot it over here, right? Let me shift this graph. Okay, the last constraint is 25x1 plus 5x2 is less than equal to 750. So I can write 25x1 plus 5x2 is less than equal to 750. Okay, so let us try to divide it. We'll be getting this x1 divided by 30 plus x2 divided by 150. So we are having four constraints we have plotted. So now let's try to plot all these on a graph. But if you try to see one interesting thing, one of the value is going very high, that is 150, which is basically difficult to plot it in a 2D graph because we'll be taking a range of like 50. Fine. So let us try to identify the first constraint. So first constraint is x1 less than equal to 45. So let us take a gap of like 50. Let us take a gap of 50, 100, 150, something like this. And here we'll be taking the gaps of x2 we can take 50, 50 each if you want. 50, 100, 150. Right? And this is 50. Chalo. Let's plot the first graph. x1 is less than equal to 45. x1 less than equal to 45 means somewhere around here. Let's say this is 45. Okay. This is the first constraint. Second constraint is we are having x2 is less than equal to 50. Second constraint. Downward. This is the second constraint. Right. This is the first constraint. Okay. 60 and 60. So somewhere around here we'll be having 60. Over here we'll be having some 60 value. So let's draw this line. Okay. So 60, 60 greater than equal to 1. That means the arrow will be away from origin. Right. And the last one, 30 and 150. 30 will be somewhere around here. And 150 is somewhere around here. So 30 and 150 we will be having a graph something like this. Okay. Right. Fine, less than equal to. Now, if I try to visualize, if we try to see, what we are getting is, if I try to see over here, they are saying this is your 45, this is your 50, right? This is your 60, okay? This is your 60, fine. This is 30, right? And this is your, we can say 30, 30 wala, this one was basically your less than, right? If I talk about the constraint number 1, this is your constraint number 1. Okay. Fine. Constraint number 2, 50 wala. This is the constraint number 2. Lower portion. Constraint number 2. 60 and 60. So we are having this curve away from origin. Constraint number 3. So if we try to visualize, I am getting this particular region as my feasible region. This particular region as my feasible region, which I'm getting as region number Q. If I try to see all the constraints I have plotted, x1 45, this is constraint number 1, this is constraint number 2, this horizontal line, 60 and 60, this is the line, okay, which is your constraint number 3, and constraint number 4 is this one. So if I try to visualize, this area is my common feasible region. So final answer is region number Q. Right? So these were the all questions from theory of machine and industrial engineering which we have solved. So after this, Sonu sir will be coming and will be discussing a very, very important questions from the thermodynamics, application, and the engineering mechanics. So that's it from my side. I hope you all enjoyed. Please do share this video to all of your friends. Thank you. Over to Sonu sir.
Thank you, Suraj sir. So after that, I am going to start to discuss few important questions related to thermodynamic and engineering mechanics. So this is the first question of the thermodynamic we are going to discuss. Heat engine extract the heat of QH from the thermal reservoir at a temperature of 1000 Kelvin and reject it to the thermal reservoir at a temperature of 100 Kelvin. While producing the work done W, which one of the following combination will be the correct? So first of all, we need to know what will be the maximum possible efficiency that will be calculated with the help of temperature. So if we calculate the maximum value of the efficiency, that maximum efficiency can be write like this: 1 minus T lower divided by T here, T higher. If I substitute these both the value, then it will be equal to 1000 divided by 100 divided by 1000. Answer will be equal to 90%. So what exactly we are getting? We have got the target value of the efficiency. That maximum efficiency in all the option is not possible more than this one, because this is the efficiency of the Carnot cycle. So in all the four options, what exactly we need to know? We need to satisfy two important conditions. One condition for the energy balance and second for the efficiency. Let's see. Like this is the condition, A option. Heat supply, if I'll just drive the heat engine somewhere like this, then this is maintained at a temperature of 1000 Kelvin, right or not? And this one is maintained at a temperature of 100 Kelvin, that is T lower, is it or not? That is the heat engine, and W is supply like this, and it is heat supply. This is heat reject or loss QL. Okay. So in all the three cases, first we need to, all the four cases we need to know. Heat supply is 2000, heat loss is 500, and this will be again energy balance is not fulfilled because heat supply is entered, that is how much? It is 2000, heat added and rejected 500 and this. So 2000 is coming and 1500 is going out of the system. It is not possible. Come back to the second one. Let's check first of all. So 2000 coming, 750 is leaving the system in the term of heat rejected, and 1250 is also doing some work done. So is energy balance? Yes. After that, let's check what will be the efficiency of this one. So efficiency of this option B, we can simply write that is equal to W divided by heat supply or the heat added. So if I will write this value of the W, how much? 1250. 1250 divided by heat supply, it is the 12,000. After that, we can simply write answer will be equal to, this will be equal to 62.5% is the answer. So energy balance fulfill, and my dear, efficiency is also fulfilled because efficiency of this actual cycle is less than the Carnot cycle. It is the possible condition. So yes, it may be the answer. Let's check third one. 6000 is adding to the system and 500 is rejecting, and this is 55. Yes, energy balance is completed. Let's go for the D option. 6000 is added, 600 is leaving from the system, and 5500. Yes, it is not following the energy balance equation. So let's see. Let's check this point C. So in this case, what will be the efficiency? Efficiency for case C we need to write. For case C, if we write the efficiency, then efficiency will be equal to W. W will be equal to 5500 divided by 6000 into 100. So if we solve it, we are getting the answer like this. 550 divided by 6, it will be equal to 9. Then after that 1 will be there, 91 point, then it will be 436 will be the percentage. So again, what exactly we are getting? Maximum possible efficiency is 90%, Actual efficiency is 91%, never possible, because any heat engine cannot have the efficiency more than the reversible heat engine. So what is the correct answer of this question? Correct answer of this question is B, that is 2000 added to the system, 750 leaving from the system, and 1250 is the work done by the system. Is it clear to all? This is the one question. Let's discuss the next question. Let's come to the next question. Question number 40. Let's see. Yes. Okay. 39, 40. Yes. What is the 40 question? 40 question says, yes, which one of the following statement is false? कौन सा statement आपका गलत है? Which one of the following statement is not correct? For an ideal gas, enthalpy is independent from the pressure. Absolutely right, as per the Joule's law. For an ideal gas, enthalpy is only the function of temperature. For the real gas going through an adiabatic reversible process, the process equation is given by this PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. For real gas, let me clear this point. This statement is only valid for an ideal gas. For ideal gas, PV raised to gamma is the constant, not a correct statement. Where P is the pressure, V is the volume, gamma is the ratio of specific heat. So again, what is the correct answer? Correct answer is this, because it is the incorrect statement. So this is not the answer. For the ideal gas undergoing the reversible polytropic process, this one, and ideal gas, yes, exactly. And any real gas behave an ideal gas at the sufficient low pressure and a very high temperature. So these all are the right statement. That is the reason correct answer of this question will be 40 question, and answer will be B, Bombay, as a correct answer. Let's move forward and see what is the correct answer from here. Yes, 41. Very important question, it was asked in thermodynamic. Question number 41. Consider the fully adiabatic piston cylinder arrangement. Fully adiabatic means there is no transfer of the heat from the system to the surrounding. The piston is the massless and the cross-section area of the cylinder is A. The fluid inside the cylinder is air, that is considered as a perfect gas or an ideal gas, with the gamma as a ratio of specific heat at a constant pressure and the specific heat at a constant volume for the air. Piston is initially located at the position L1. L1, this one. L1, the initial pressure of the air inside the cylinder is P1, that is much higher as compared to the atmospheric pressure. Where the P0 is the atmospheric pressure, the stop S1 is the instantaneous remove, and the piston move to the piston position L2, where the equilibrium pressure of the air inside the cylinder is P2, that is also greater than P0. What will be the work done in the piston of the atmospheric during this? So again, when piston is moving in this direction now, then definitely it has to work against the atmosphere. So if I will write what will be the work done for this one, can we write work done in this condition will be given by P into dV, my dear? But in this case, P is the atmospheric, because gas has to work against the atmosphere. So if I just want to calculate what is the total pressure 1 to 2, P0 is a constant and dV will be equal to A into dx. Dx is a very small displacement. We can write somewhere like this, dx. Yes or no? After that, if you want to calculate the total work, that will be varying from L1 to L2, my dear. So in this case, if I'll write the value of the W12, that will be equal to P0 into A, and L2 minus of L1 is the correct answer. Is the correct answer of this question. P0A into L2 minus L1 is the correct answer. Question number 41, and answer is B for Bombay, is the correct answer of this question. Chaliye, let's move forward and discuss the next important question. Question number 42. Consider a gas mixture, a very important question of gas mixture. Consider a mixture of two ideal gases, X and Y. with a molar mass of 10 kg and the 20 kg respectively in a container. My dear, there is a container. My dear friend, there is a container like this. And in this case, there is a combination of the gas like X and Y. It is not a like X and Y. There are two gases mixture are filled in this way. After that, the total pressure of the container is 100 kilopascal. How much? The total pressure of the container is 100 kilopascal. Okay. After that, what is mentioned? Then total volume of the container is also given, my dear. Volume is also given 10 meter cube. Very nice. After that, and the volume of container and the temperature of the content of the container is 300 Kelvin. Means temperature is also given, that is total temperature is also given, that is 300 Kelvin, my dear. Is it? Okay. After that, if the mass of the gas X in the container is 2 kg, then what will be the mass of this? Round off the figure 1 decimal. Assume the universal gas constant is somewhere like this. We know very well it is the ideal gas. Two ideal gas mixture. So can we write, if I'll consider this as a whole, completely if I'll consider, so can we write from here that number of moles are also given? Molar mass, that is M1. How much is the value of M1? M1 will be 10 kg per kilomole Kelvin, and M2 is also given, that is 20 if I'm not wrong. Yes, 20. 20 kg per kilomole Kelvin. These all parameters are given to us, right? After that, we need to find what will be the total value of the mass in 1 and 2, my dear. Okay, so let's move forward and see the next question. Solution of this question number 42 we are dealing with. Yes. Okay. So there are two important equations we are having for an ideal gas mixture. One equation, PV is equal to MRT when I consider this as a mixture. There is also one important equation we are having, that PV is also equal to N into RT when the universal gas constant is given in this equation, my dear. Given in this equation. Now the question comes, what will be this total number of moles? Total number of moles in the mixture, what will be the answer? So can we write from here that total number of mole will be equal to number of mole of one gas plus number of mole of second gas. I mean gas X and gas Y. That will be equal to R bar into T, my dear. Now the question comes, what is the value of N1? I mean number of mole for gas 1, number of mole for gas 2. Now total pressure, sir, 100 kilopascal we are writing here. Total volume, sir, 10. Number of mole, we know very well that mass of the X divided by molecular weight of the X plus of mass of the Y divided by molecular weight of Y into R bar into T. If we substitute all the values, what is the value of this? 1000. Mass of X, what is the total mass of X given here? Total mass of X, is it given or not? Yes, it is, yeah, 2 kg. Number of mole of X, 10. Mass of Y, we need to find. Number of mole, 20s. Let's take this value in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. 8.314 into temperature is 300 Kelvin. So after that, when you get the value of M, you are getting 4.02 kg. I've already calculated this numerical value from the relation, and we are getting the value of My from here is 4.02 kg is the correct answer. Yes. So this is the answer of question number 42. After that, let's move forward and discuss the next question of thermodynamic. Yes, it is the question of power plant compressible flow. And in this question, most of the students are confused. Few have selected the wrong answer, that this is the diverging cross-section area. As the area increase, velocity decrease. We have a study like this generally, in general in the fluid mechanics. But this topic is purely related to the compressible flow. And in the compressible flow, my dear, we know very well, first of all, we need to know what type of flow we are dealing with. So this is a supersonic flow when we drive it. So first of all, we need to check what will be the numerical value of the Mach number at this point, my dear. Let's check what is the value of the Mach number at this point, and after that we decide the answer. Sir, consider the isentropic flow of the air. Ratio of gamma is ratio of Cp and Cv is given to us through the duct as shown in the figure. Variation in the flow across the cross section are negligible. Flow conditions are given like this. P1 is given, ρ1 is given, and after that U1 is given. Okay. P1, ρ1 and U1 is given. Can we calculate what is the value of T1 from here? Because P1 is equal to ρ1 into R into T1. We are dealing with air. We are dealing with air. So what is the value of R? P1 is given to us 100 kilopascal. ρ1, my dear, 1.2, 0.287. And after that we need to find T1. So can we calculate the value of T1? I have already calculated the value of this T1. T1 we are getting, yes, 290.36. T1 from here we are getting 290.36 Kelvin. T1 is calculated. After that, let's come to the next point and find what is the sound speed, my dear. That is speed of the sound. If I need to check, then what is the speed of sound in this case? So can we write C is equal to under root gamma RT? We are very well aware with it. So in this case, what is the value of gamma? 1.4, R 287, my dear. After the temperature, what is the value of the temperature? 290 to 90.36. If we solve it, then speed of the sound we are getting, already I have calculated this value. And after that, after calculating this speed, we are getting the Mach number. Let me add from here. Yes, let me add one page. We are getting the value of Mach number. Is it? Let me. Yes, okay. Color. This one is good. Mach number from here can be given by that velocity of sound divided by C. Velocity of vehicle divided by C. What is the velocity of this is already given to us. How much is this value? Value is 100 or what? 400, sorry. 400 divided by, what is the value of C we have calculated? So the value of C is equal to 1.4 into 287 into 290.36. When we are calculating this value, we are getting 1.17. What exactly we are getting? That at the inlet of the duct, my dear, at the inlet of the duct, my Mach number is 1.17. What exactly we are dealing with? We are dealing with the supersonic flow. So if at the inlet of this duct, if the flow is supersonic, my dear, at this point, if the Mach number is greater than 1, what exactly happened in this case? So it is a supersonic flow. Diverging cross-section area is there, my dear. Diverging cross-section area. So flow is supersonic, cross-section is diverging. Your diverging cross-section area behave like a nozzle, means velocity increase, pressure decrease. Velocity is increasing. U2 is greater than U1. U2 is greater than U1. U2 is greater than U1. And pressure is decreasing. P2 is, yes, C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer of this question. This was the 43rd question of this power plant we have discussed. After that, my dear, let's move forward and try to solve some tricky questions which were asked in engineering mechanics subject, important subject. And after that, let me tell you 2 questions. Total 3 questions were asked in engineering mechanics, and out of these 3 questions, 1 question was very easy, that was related to the truss, but 2 questions are quite tricky question. So let's discuss first of all this question, my dear, question number 44. related to engineering mechanics. Sir, a spherical ball of weight 2 kg, mass of this spherical ball is 2 kg, is dropped from a height of how much? 4.9 meter onto the immovable rigid block as shown in the figure. The collision is perfectly elastic. You can simply say E is equal to 1, my dear. It is, okay. After that, what is the momentum vector of the ball just after the impact? If the acceleration due to the gravity, that will be taken as 9.8. An option has been given and you need to just round off up to 1 decimal place. Come back to the point. Sir, from here, height of 4.9 meter ball is dropped. Then first of all, you need to check at this particular point when ball is striking. If I draw a normal line like this to this plane, then what is the velocity at this point? Can we write this is a u velocity? Yes. So what is this u velocity? U velocity will be equal to under root of 2gh. Is it or not? Under root of 2gh. So it will be equal to 2 into 9.8 into 4.9 under root, then velocity just before striking this block, that will be equal to how much? 2.9, that is 9.8 meter per second. Okay, let's draw few important parameters. This is I and this one is j, my dear. And what is this angle? This angle, this is 30, then this one is also 30. Okay or not? So this is the u component or velocity that is imparted over this in plane. If I will just check what will be the direction of the ball, what will be the direction of the ball after impacting over this inclined plane. So can we write like this? It will be somewhere like this. That will be V, and angle, let me assume this angle is theta. This angle is theta. So if I consider this important point, this point, let me change the color so that it will clear to you. If I take the component of these two, my dear, then component of u in this direction, can I write it as u sine theta? Is it or not? Component of this v in this direction, that is v sine theta. Sorry, this is v sine 30, my dear. Sine 30. This is v sine 30. And this is v u sine 30 and this one is v sine theta. Now, sir, on this plane, this is the velocity before impact and this is the velocity after the impact. And we know very well, in this direction of the plane, there is no collision. So can I say in this direction, momentum is not going to change? So momentum u sine theta, I mean, when we will multiply from the mass, so momentum will be the same. After that, if I will take one more component of this u, then there is one component of u will act in this direction. That will be equal to, my dear, u cos, and this will be 30. Is it or not? And if I'll take the component of this one, so this will be component of this one in this perpendicular plane. This will be equal to v cos theta. Sir, theta is unknown, b is unknown. U and 30 both are known to us. So in this case, one thing is very clear. We have defined the total component of the velocity before and after the impact in the direction of normal to the plane and in the parallel direction of this plane. So we know very well that in this direction of the plane, my dear, my momentum is not going to change. So from here, can I write, can I write that momentum from here can be written as, my dear, mu sine theta, because it is not going to change. It must be equal to, that is v sine theta, multiply by mass, sorry. So mass and mass will be cancelled. What is u value? U is 9.8, sine theta is 1/2. It will be equal to v sine theta. So from here we can write that V sine theta, my dear, it will be equal to how much this value? 4.9 meter per second. That is equation 1. After that, E is also given. E means coefficient of restitution. That is generally written as total momentum or the velocity of the separation divided by velocity of the approach. So if E is equal to 1, because E is equal to 1, can be right from here that velocity of approach will be equal to velocity of separation. Is it or not? Because E is equal to 1. Is it? What is the velocity of approach? With which velocity it is striking to the normal? That will be V cos theta, U cos theta. Cos theta means 30. U cos 30. It will be equal to V cos theta. So in this case, if I'll substitute the value of this U, that will be equal to V cos 30, theta, will be equal to cos 30 root 3 by 2, 9.8. This will be equal to 4.9 under root 3. Are you not feeling we are having two important equations where the V cos theta is given to us and at the same time, my dear, V sin theta is also given to us. Are we not able to find the value of the theta and the value of V by solving these two equations? If I'll do the square of this equation, then we directly get the value of V. And if I'll just take sin theta divided by tan theta, I'll calculate the value of this. So let's find first of all what is the numerical value of the angle. Sir, V sin theta divided by V cos theta, it will be equal to tan theta and it will be equal to 1 by root 3. So from here, what will be the value of this tan theta? Let me calculate from here. Tan theta will be equal to 1 by root 3. From here we can calculate V sin theta divided by V cos theta tan theta and that will be equal to 1 divided by root 3. That is tan 30. So what exactly we are getting, my dear? That theta will be equal to 30 angle. So what is the meaning of it? This ball is moving in this direction and this angle is, my dear, 30 angle. But till now magnitude of this V is not known to us. अभी हमको इसका magnitude नहीं पता है. So let's calculate or let's substitute the value of theta here. Theta is 30. We can also find the value of V. So V theta is equal to sin 30. It will be the answer as, let me change the color. So it will be, yes, it will be, I think ये color ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. Okay. So V will be equal to 9.8 meter per second. Is it or not? Now, what is asked in the question? Let's move forward and see what exactly asked in this question. In the question, it is asked, my dear, what is the total momentum vector after the impact? So it is after the impact. After the impact, can I say this is the normal and this is the final velocity after the impact, V. That is having the how much value, my dear? Value is 9.8. Is it or not? 9.8. So and this angle is 30 degree. This angle is also 30 degree already given to us. So what is this total angle? 60 degree. So can I have two component of this velocity? One is V sin 60, that is acting in I direction. Second is, my dear, V cos 60, that is acting in plus J direction. So this is the velocity component. After that, I need to find the total momentum, my dear. Final momentum I need to find. So can I write mass into velocity? Can I write mass is 2 kg? Velocity is this V 9.8 into cos 60. Cos 60 means root 3 by 2. No. 9 sin. Sorry. into this component, sorry, I component first of all we take now, that is root 3 by 2 into I plus of this component, I mean 9.8 into 1 by 2. It is acting in j direction. So what will be the answer? This and this and this will be cancelled out. Answer will be equal to 16.9 I plus of 9.8 j. If you will just check the answer, it is similar to the 17I plus of 9.8 j, my dear. What is the correct answer? C is the correct answer of this question. Important question, a little bit tricky question. So let's move forward and see the next question, question number 45. Again, one of the important question. There are two ways to calculate this answer, my dear. Either you calculate from the concept of the composite theorem, or if you are not aware to find, or if you are feeling the difficulty to find the value of the area moment of inertia from the composite theorem, there is also one more method, that is the integration method. What is this integration method? Take a very small step at a length of x, my dear, like this, and this is dx. There is also one more important method. This is y and this is also y. Is it or not? First of all, let's try to solve. Let's consider a small strip and after that, what will be the area of the strip? Can we write area of the strip will be equal to 2y into dx, my dear? Is it or not? And I need to find what is it? This is area moment of inertia about the y-axis, about this axis. I need to find area moment of inertia. Area is known to me. What is the double square? So can I write second moment of area about y-axis? Can we write from here about the y-axis? It will be equal to x square into dA. Is it or not? And x square dA can be written by 2y x square into dx, my dear. Now the question comes, what is the numerical value of the y? We need to find. So from here we need to find what is this value of the y here, my dear. Y. Sir, at this point, what is the value of y? 1.5. At this point, what is the value of y? 3. So can we write that at this particular point v, or this x, y can be given as 1.5 plus change of the y in this x length. What is the change in this y? So can we write what is the total change? 1.5 is okay. What is the total change, my dear? Total change is 3 to 1.5. 3 minus 1.5 out of how much length? 12 meter. So my dear, what is the meaning of this bracket term? Per unit meter, total change in the length is this one. Then what is the change in this y direction when the x length is covered? Like this. So this is the value of y. When we substitute or when we solve it, what exactly we are getting? It is 1.5, my dear, plus 1.5 divided by 12. 1.5 divided by 12, it will be equal to x by 6. Is it or not? So after that, when we substitute in the answer, then diy, we are getting, if I'll substitute, 2 y is equal to 1.5 plus of x by 6 into x square into dx. After that, it will be equal to 3 x square plus of how much? This x by 3, sorry, yes, 3x x by 3 cube into dx. Is it or not? So this is the value of I. If I want to find what is the total area moment of inertia, what will be the total area moment of inertia, then what will be the answer? Let me calculate this. Already I have calculated. The answer become Yes. The answer from here, it will become, yes, it is 3. Okay, sorry, it is 1 by 4. It is 1 by 8. And after that, when it is multiplied, then it will be x by 8, that will be 3x plus x by 4. Is it or not? 3x square plus x cube by 4, that will be the I by y. If I'll do the integration, then what is the lower limit of x? This is x is equal to 0, comma 0. And what is the upper limit of x? This is 12, comma 0. So it will be integrated from 0 to 12. When we do the integration, we are getting the answer, that is 3x cube divided by 3 plus of x raised to 4 divided by 4 into 4. Upper limit is 12, lower limit is 0. What exactly we are getting? That is x cube plus x raised to 4 divided by 16. If we solve the answer 0 to 12, we exactly are getting 30. It is the answer like 3024 meter cube, meter raised to 4. This is the total area moment of inertia. There is also one way you can just find the total area moment of inertia, like the composite theorem. First of all, you find, this is also the alternative way. First of all, you will find the area moment of inertia for this rectangle. This is also one more way. Like this, a rectangle, you will find the area moment of inertia. Then you subtract these two triangles, you will get the same answer. So these are the two alternative methods. Either you go with this basic method, that is the integration method, in which way we derive all the type of area moment of inertia, or you can find the composite theorem also. Okay. After that, the last question we are dealing with, that is the next question. Yes, trust question. Generally we expect that one hard question must ask in your GATE exam from the trust, but this year a very easy question is asked to us. The option shows the frame consisting of the rigid bar connected by pin joint. Which one of the frame is non-rigid body? I think from the figure it is already clear that what is the correct answer, because we have already discussed when the number of members are arranged in the triangular way, then definitely they are the example of the rigid member. But if you will check this, one triangle, second triangle, rigid member, this, all are the rigid member. You check these, all are the rigid members. Yes. But if you will check this one, so my dear, this one is a rigid member because these are the member in the form of triangle. So if you will consider this is not going to move, this is not having the relative motion, so you can consider this as an entire member. This is also as an entire member. And after that, if you check this, this one is a 4-bar mechanism. And in the 4-bar mechanism, yes, there is a possibility of the displacement. Non-rigid body. Is it or not? Non-rigid body, this is the answer. So this is the 46th and last question of the engineering mechanics we have discussed, my dear. So in this way, we have covered all the important questions of the engineering mechanics as well as thermodynamic and application of the thermodynamic. After this, Rakesh sir is coming. Over to you, sir.
So thank you, Sonu sir, for your wonderful explanation of the concepts and the GATE 2023 solutions. Now guys, I, Rakesh Salreja, will continue the discussions of engineering mathematics and general aptitude questions asked in the mechanical engineering this year. So this is the first question here, very simple guys, and yeah, it's 1-marker question, so it should be simple. A machine produces a defective component with a probability of 0.015. The number of defective components in a packed box containing 200 components produced by the machine follow a Poisson distribution, okay, with the probability of defective, that is probability of success, being 0.015. The question is mean and variance. So guys, for any Poisson distribution, the formula based question, for any Poisson distribution, mean and variance are approximately equal, and they are both equal to n into p. So n is the total number of samples here, that is equal to 200, and the probability of A single component being defective is 0.015. When you multiply this, you are going to get the answer as 3, and both are equal to C. The correct answer is both are equal to 3. So the correct answer is equal to what? Is equal to the A. Let us move to the next question quickly. Here it is. Okay, the figure shows the plot. Very simple questions this time for mechanical. Okay, except one or two, very simple. Maths and aptitude दोनों का बता रहा हूँ. So figure shows the plot of a function over the interval -4, which of the options given correctly identifies the function. So see guys, in such questions, because it is MCQ especially, you should not spend time on calculating the equation of lines. You can do so. You can do everything. You're an engineer. But guys, if I just take 1 or 2 points, okay, you'll be able to satisfy. Suppose if I just take the point of x equal to 4. Okay, if I take this point x equal to 4, the value of the function y should be 2. Right? This will be seen here kya? Right? देखो, इसको बाद में करते हैं. Whether this is seen here, 2 minus 4, minus 2 का mod 2. Okay, this is a possibility. 2 minus, right, 2 minus mod 4 will be minus 2. ये wrong हो गया. Right? 2 plus mod 4 will be 6. This is wrong. 2 minus 4 minus 2. This is also possible. Now, between A to B, how to distinguish? It's an even symmetric function. Right? Are we able to see that? Yes, it's an even symmetric function. It is identical on the right and the left. It has a symmetry. Right? And only option number B will have symmetry because it has modulus of x. Mod of 2 minus x will be symmetric about x equal to 2, but not about the origin. So this goes wrong. Right? So the only correct answer is B. Only correct answer is B. Okay, so this is satisfied in A or B, but A option does not represent symmetric. You can check by f of minus x funda also. F of minus x, when you take for the A option, that will not be equal to f of x. So hence that will not be even symmetric. Next question guys here. Okay, next question here. A vector field B xi plus yj minus 2zk is defined over a conical region as shown in this picture, and that conical region has a height of 2, base radius 3 and axis along the z. Okay, as shown in the figure. The base of the cone lies in the xy plane and is centered at the origin. If n denotes the unit outward normal vector to the curved surface, of the cone, then the value of the integral. Now guys, let me tell you, if you try to solve the integral about the curved surface of the cone, it's going to be tedious. It's going to be lengthy, and then it cannot deserve 1 mark. Okay, but whether it is 1 mark or 2 mark, if we apply the simplest method, it's always better, na? So, curved surface. Now, I'll tell you, many students might have applied Gauss divergence theorem directly, and they might have got the correct answer. Answer will be 0. Okay, luckily they got the correct answer, but here you cannot directly apply the Gauss divergence because the integration is only over this curved surface, not over the base. That means the cone is open. It's only about the curve. It doesn't make a closed volume, and unless and until you have a closed volume, you cannot apply the Gauss divergence theorem. Okay, what will I do now? What will I do? I will apply a simple fundamental. This S is my curved surface, na? This S is my curved surface. Okay, I will write down the integral. Let us solve the integral over the total cone, right? And that can be broken as the integral over the curved surface plus integral over the base. Okay, so suppose one side you want to calculate the integral over total cone. Okay, but that can be split as the integral over curved plus the integral over the base, which is the circular base here. Okay, now this curved surface is the S given here. When I want to discuss about this total cone, it makes a closed region, right? And because it makes a closed region, I will apply the Gauss divergence theorem. Okay, for the Gauss divergence theorem, I need to calculate the divergence of B. So dear, what is going to be the divergence of B? Del by del x of x. Okay, del by del y of the y component. Del by del z of the z component. Sir, what is the z component? Minus 2z. Okay, so that is 1 plus 1 minus 2. Answer is 0. 1 plus 1 minus 2. This answer is equal to 0. So divergence is 0. Let us talk about the integral over the base. Okay, now when you take the base, integral will be calculated as integral b dot n cap ds. This is how we calculate the surface integral. But what is going to be the n cap? So b, the vector b is given to me xi plus yj minus 2z k cap. यहाँ पे बिल्कुल टाइम लिखेगा. Just to explain you, I am taking little details. What is the n cap? Okay, for this base surface, na, okay, which is in the xy plane, okay, which is clearly in the xy plane. What is the n cap? n cap is defined as a unit vector normal to that surface, and it should be outwards of the closed region. So if I take outwards, I am going in the minus z direction. I am going in the minus z direction. Okay, so यहाँ पे आ गया minus k direction dot ds. Now see, only k to k component will multiply, so this is equal to 2 can be outside, integral z ds. But guys, in the xy plane, okay, in the xy plane, देखो, base क्या है? Base is in the xy plane, right? And in xy plane, what should be the value of z? It should be 0. Okay, so the integral over the base is also 0. So that means if I want to now calculate the integral over the curved surface, that should be equal to the integral over the total cone minus the integral over the base. So total cone answer is 0 by the Gauss divergence, base answer is 0, and hence the net answer will also be 0. Hence the net answer will also be equal to 0. For this NAT type question, the correct answer, dear, that you should write down is 0. Okay, dear. Moving ahead to the next question. Here, 50. A linear transformation maps a point xy in the plane to the point x cap y cap according to the rule given to you. Then the disk x square plus y square less than equal to 1 gets transformed. So point transformation is given. Okay, what will be the transformation of this disk? This is a circular disk. Okay, but very simple question. Logically, you can just solve this. X square plus y square less than equal to 1. But what is the value of x? X will become y cap by 2. So let us replace x by y cap by 2, and what is y? That is known as x cap by 3 whole square less than equal to 1. So rearranging it, x cap square upon 9 plus y cap square divided by 4 less than equal to 1. That represents the area inside ellipse. X square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 is ellipse, right? So we have the total area under the ellipse, and that is equal to pi ab, right? That is equal to pi a is 3, this is 3 square, and b is equal to 2. So the total answer should be 6 pi. Put down the value of pi as 3.14, so you're going to get 18, and then 14 6 are 84. 18.84 is going to be your answer, dear. 18.84. Next one, 51. The value of k that makes the complex valued function fz is equal to e power minus kx cos 2y minus I sin 2y analytic. Okay, analytic. Okay, simple question, analytic function. So f of z is given to you as e raised to the power minus kx cos of 2y minus I e raised to the power minus kx sin 2y, which is like u plus iv, right? And for the function to be analytic, it will always hold a Cauchy-Riemann equation, and one of the Cauchy-Riemann equation is del u by del x is equal to del v by del y. बस इसी से कर लेते हैं हम लोग, right? What is del u by del x? Differentiation of u with x. Okay, so e power minus kx into minus k. So minus k e power minus kx cos 2y is equal to del v by del y. Differentiation of v already has a minus, ध्यान देना, right? So minus e raised to the power minus kx sin 2y, because I am differentiating with y, sin 2y differentiation will be 2 cos 2y. So dear, e power minus kx and cos 2y got cancelled, minus also got cancelled, only k is left, and the value of k will be equal to the 2. The value of k will be equal to 2. Moving ahead to the next question, very simple this was. Okay, so it's a 2-mark question from Laplace transform, very simple. I always suggested that mechanical students should always go through Laplace because they keep asking the question and they are very simple, and this time for 2 marks. If somebody studied Laplace, it is very simple for 2 marks. Okay, for 2 marks level at least. Okay, so what is the Laplace transform function given to me? It is given as 1 upon s cube minus s, or we can write this as 1 upon s square minus 1, or I can write down this fs if I want to break it into the partial fraction. 1 upon, first let us break into 2 different terms. Let's not open this also, a minus b, a plus b. I'll tell you the simple technique. Okay, 1 upon s square minus 1 minus 1 upon s. Will it satisfy? No. This will be s minus s square minus 1. So here I should multiply actually s. Here I should multiply s. So that s into s square, then minus s square will get cancelled, and I'll have plus 1. Correct? Now, what is the ft? What is the inverse Laplace transform? So again, I am telling you, if you have studied all Laplace transform formula, this one is simple. S upon s square minus a square is for cos hyperbolic function. So this is known as cos hyperbolic at. Minus 1 upon s is for 1. 1 upon s is for 1, or 1 means ut here. So cos hyperbolic at ut minus ut. Right. Now this is equal to, open the cos hyperbolic at. Okay, the Euler's identity. So e raised to the power theta, not j theta. Cos hyperbolic function hai. Plus e raised to the power minus theta. Okay, divided by a का value 1 है, sorry. A का value रख देते, तो this is only cos hyperbolic. This is only cos hyperbolic t. Right, so e power t plus e power minus t divided by 2 minus of 1 whole multiplied by ut. Now just have to match the option. So e power t plus e power minus t whole divided by 2 and then minus 1 separately. My answer is A. The correct answer for the very simple 2-mark question is A. Moving ahead to the next question. The smallest parameter that a rectangle with an area of 4 square units can have. The smallest perimeter that a rectangle with an area of 4 square units can have is dash units. Is dash units. Chalo, let's check this. Is equal to dash units. So कितना हो जाएगा? कितना हो जाएगा? Very simple question. What is given to you? A rectangle whose area is given to you. Okay, let's say this is x, this is y. You are given x into y, that is known as the area, and that is equal to 4. Okay, what is the smallest perimeter? So what should be the perimeter formula? We know that perimeter is given by twice of x plus y, isn't it? The perimeter will be given by twice of x plus y, and area is given as 4. Now dear, why it is very simple? See, because maybe IIT expected this, that you will solve by the concept of maxima minima. Okay, right, smallest parameter hai na, so you can solve it by the concept of smallest hai, so you can call by the concept of maxima or minima. Correct, right? Or I'll tell you the very simple shortcut. Or by the concept of AP and GP. How? By the concept of AP and GP. How? There is a simple relation that, dear, the arithmetic progression of a number, take any two numbers. Take any two numbers. You learn this in aptitude, but you can apply here no matter where this question is. Dekho, when you take 2 and 4, divide by 2, their mean is 3. And when you take the geometric mean of 2 and 4, so that is root over 2 into 4, that is root over 8. That is known as root over 8 or 2 root 2, which is less than 3. AP is always greater than GP, then that is always greater than the HP. That is always greater than the HP. Right. So use the foundation that AP is greater than GP. It will be equal to GP if two numbers are equal, otherwise it is always greater. Right. So AP, bale to x plus y divide by 2. Let us use the AP of the numbers x and y. That should be greater than under root of xy. Clear? That should be greater than the under root of xy. X plus y divided by 2 should be greater than the under root of xy. Okay, so what should be the x plus y? X plus y should be greater than twice under root of xy. Under root of xy to fix hai, area given hai 4. Under root of 4 is equal to 2. Right, so 2 2s are 4. The x plus y minimum value is 4. Right, so what is the smallest parameter, dear? What is the smallest parameter? Twice. Smallest value of x plus y is 4. Answer for the question should be equal to 8 units. Answer for the question should be equal to 8 units. That's it. The answer for the question should be equal to the 8 units. So very simple it is. Okay, let us move ahead to the next question here. Okay, 54. Now consider the second order linear ordinary differential equation x square d2y by dx square plus x dy by dx minus y equal to 0 with x greater than equal to 1 with the initial conditions given to you. Second order linear ordinary differential equation. Second order linear ordinary differential equation. Okay. What type of differential equation? dy by dx multiplied by x, d2y by dx square multiplied by x square. It is known as the Euler-Cauchy form. This is a differential equation coming under the Euler-Cauchy form. And what is the method to solve Euler-Cauchy form? Guys, nothing. You will substitute x equal to, let's not derive it. This is a very, very important and standard case. Several times mechanical mein pucha gaya hai ye. So x is e ki power t, and whenever you put x equal to e power t, x dy by dx will be converted to dy by dt. Okay, we write this as d of y, where I use the d operator as derivative with time. Similarly, guys, x squared d2y by dx square will turn up to be d into d minus 1y. Okay, these are the standard results. Okay, so if I put this into the equation, my differential equation is x square d2y by dx square plus x dy by dx minus y is equal to कितना 0. ठीक है. So let us use this. So x square d2y by dx square will become d minus 1y plus dy minus y equal to 0. So when you take the y common, you have d square minus d plus d minus 1 into y equal to 0, or your equation is simply d square minus 1 into y equal to 0, right? Only complementary function will be obtained here, and for the complementary function you have to take the auxiliary equation. Why only complementary function? Because the right hand side is 0, so pi part will be 0. Right hand side is 0, so pi part will be 0. Complementary function हो जाएगा based on auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is m square minus 1 equal to 0. So m is equal to under root of 1 plus minus 1 plus 1 minus 1. Both the roots are real and distinct. Right? So what is the complementary function? What is the yc? That is equal to c1 e raised to the power mx. Sorry, not mx, mt. Because here y is a function of t. We have converted into a function of t. Right? So c1 e ki power t plus c2 e ki power minus t. But we all know that x is equal to e ki power t. The substitution was x equal to e power t, right? So this becomes c1 e ki power t is x. So e ki power minus t is 1 by x. Okay, so I can write down what is the value of y. Y means only yc here. Pi part is 0 as I told you, and that is equal to c1x plus c2 by x. Then one of the condition is given to me. At x equal to 1, y will be 6. At x equal to 1, y will be 6. So 6 is equal to c1 plus c2. X की जगह 1 रख दिया. Then the value of dy by dx initial value, but पहले differentiate तो कर दें. तो dear, what is dy by dx? dy by dx will be c1 minus c2 divided by x square. Now you are given dy by dx at x equal to 1 is equal to something. At x equal to 1 is equal to 2. So यहाँ पे रख देंगे dy by dx equal to 2 is equal to c1 minus c2 divided by x square, but x का value 1 ही रखना है. तो c1 minus c2. Okay dear. So we have clearly got the answer. c1 plus c2 sum is 6. c1 minus c2 is 2. Very easily we can guess the numbers are 4 and 2. 4 plus 2 and 4 minus 2. 4 plus 2 and 4 minus 2. So my y function is equal to 4x. c1 की जगह रखा 4 and c2 is 2. 4x plus 2 divided by x. Plus 2 divided by x. And your question is, find the value of y at x equal to 2. Find the value of y at x equal to 2. So 8 plus 1, that is equal to 9. That is equal to 9. The value of y at x equal to 2, the correct answer is equal to 9. Moving ahead to the next question. The initial value problem dy by dx plus 2y equal to 0, y0 equal to 1 is solved numerically using the forward Euler method. With the constant and positive time step of delta t. Okay, let yn represent the numerical solution obtained after n steps. The condition mod yn plus 1 less than equal to mod yn is satisfied if and only if delta t does not exceed what? Okay, does not exceed what? So देखो, what is the forward Euler method formula? I'll tell you two methods here. What is the forward Euler method formula? The formula is yn plus 1 is equal to yn plus h. Okay, h means यहाँ पे time step delta t plus delta t f of x comma y, xn comma yn. Xn comma yn. What is the function? So when you write down this dy by dx, that is minus 2y, and that is known as f of x comma y. Okay, chalo. So let us use this equation first of all. So yn plus 1 is equal to yn plus delta t into f of x comma y. So that is equal to minus 2yn, f of xn comma yn. So yn plus 1 is equal to, very clearly yn is common, 1 minus 2 delta t. 1 minus 2 delta t. Right. Now when I want to take the modulus of yn plus 1, when I want to take the modulus of yn minus 1, it will be split as modulus of yn multiplied by modulus of 1 minus 2 delta t, and what I want is this modulus of yn plus 1 should be less than equal to modulus of yn. Modulus of yn plus 1 less than equal to modulus of yn. So modulus of yn, take the second and third term, it got cancelled. So what you are left with, 1 minus 2 delta t ka mod is less than equal to 1. Is less than equal to 1. That means if the modulus less than 1, matlab quantity can be between minus 1 to 1. So while minus 1 less than equal to 1 minus 2 delta t less than equal to 1, subtracting 1. So minus 2 less than equal to minus 2 delta t less than equal to 0. Changing the sign, 2 greater than equal to 2 delta t greater than equal to 0. So 0 eventually less than equal to delta t less than equal to 1 divided by 2. So what is the maximum value of the delta t? What is the maximum value of the delta t, sir? That is equal to the 1. What is the maximum value of the delta t? That is equal to 1. That is one way. Okay, that is one way. Or direct. Or, okay, direct. There is a stability condition. There is a stability condition for this forward Euler's method, and that condition is given by 1 plus h del f by del y. Modulus of 1 plus h del f by del y should be less than 1. Okay, where h is the step size. So यहाँ पे आ जाएगा 1 plus h की जगह let us write down delta t. Del f by del y. So f is minus 2 by differentiating partially with y. Differentiating partially with y. This is in general applicable for any differential equation to be solved using Euler's method. It will only converge, it will only be stable if it satisfies this condition. Okay, so यहाँ से आ गया ना 1 minus 2 delta t का mod less than 1, same condition you have got. So same answer you will get. What is the delta t max? That is equal to 1. That is equal to 1. So if you know the stability criteria, very good. Even if you didn't know, you can solve by the basic Euler formula. That is expected at least. But both are expected. When you study Euler's, you study the formula, you study the convergence condition. Both you study anyways. Moving ahead to the next question here. Okay, now we have general aptitude question. So previously maths question, and if you have observed, very simple mathematics, actually very simple. Okay, all 1 marker, all 2 marker questions are easy. Aptitude is also on the easier side only. He did not manage to fix the car himself. So he got it fixed in the garage. Verbal, let us not discuss much. Let us discuss the quant and logical reasoning question. He got it fixed in the garage. Okay. Similarly, word meaning base, planting is to seed is like raising a child. Okay. Is like raising is to child. Okay. So option number A. Moving ahead to the next question. Yeah, a DI question. A certain country has 504 universities and 25951 colleges. These are categorized into grades 1, grades 2 and 3 as shown in the given pie charts. What is the percentage correct to 1 decimal place of higher education institutions that fall into grade 3? Higher education institute means both colleges and universities combined. Very simple percentage question. क्या बोला है? Let us talk about the first one, universities. Okay, universities. The data of my interest is grade 3. Okay, so how many students here from grade 3? 7% of total students of university mentioned है 504 universities are there. So how many grade 3 universities? Sorry, students यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है. Sorry. So we'll calculate this and then let us come to this. Here again I am interested in grade 3 colleges. So how many grade 3 colleges? 23%. Okay, 23%. So 23% of how much? Of how much total colleges? That is 25951. 25951. Right. Let us just calculate both these numbers, guys, quickly. Just a second. Let us calculate both these numbers quickly and then we'll get our answer. So this is 35.28. Right. And this one is equal to 23% of 25951. This is equal to 5968.73. Okay, added with the previous data, it is 6004.01, approximately 6004. So total grade 3 approximately 6004. Right, in the percentage form 6004 divided by total higher educational institutes, that is 504 plus 25951 into 100. You calculate this, guys, 22.7 approximately, you will get the answer. Very last simple calculation, 22.7, you will get the answer. That is option number A. That is your option number A. Moving ahead to the next question, number 59. The minute hand and second hand of a clock cross each other dash times between 9:15 and 9:45. No need to even think anything, yaar. Kuch nahi hai. Right. Think even just 1 minute, 9:15 to 9:16. Right. This is 3, this side 9. This is 9:15. This is how a clock's 9:15. Right. Now, when it goes to 9:16, suppose here, right, when it goes to 9:16, how many times minute hand and second hand? So second hand, when it is at 9:15, second hand yahan point karega. It start tick, 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 tick. At any one point between 9:15, 9:16, it will cross the minute hand, and then at 9:16, it will again come back to the initial position. So how many in 1 minute? Once in every 1 minute. Once in every minute. So your answer has to be 30. Your answer has to be A. Very simple logic. Once in 30 minutes, option has to be A. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay, the symbols circle, star, triangle and square are to be filled in one box, one in each box as shown below. The rules are mentioned here. Every row and every column must contain each of the 4 symbols. So every row and every column must contain all the 4, and every 2 cross 2 square delineated by bold lines. So these are the bold lines. ये जो लिख रहा है ना, delineated by bold line must contain each of the 4 symbols. So here it is a 2 cross 2 square. This must also contain all 4 sections, and all such 4 2 cross 2 squares must contain the 4 symbols. Which single will occupy the box marked with the question mark? यहाँ पे निकालना है भैया क्या होगा. Here you have to calculate what will occur. So let's start filling it. Here it is the empty space. Let's start filling it, guys. Okay. So guys, I can start with, let's say third column, because 3 elements are given, only circle is missing. Right. Now, if I fill the circle, I can go to the first row, dear. Okay. And even the last row mein box is missing. And first row mein also box is missing. Now, I can come to this first 2 cross 2 section. And यहाँ पे भी आ सकते हैं, right? If I come to this 2 cross 2 section, no, here it is missing, sorry. So let me fill this one. यहाँ पे क्या missing है? Sky, यहाँ पे again box is missing. Now this second row is ready. Okay, triangle is missing. Now you can come to this particular box. Okay, what is the only thing missing here? Star missing here. Question is finished. Okay, star. The correct answer is star. Star. Moving ahead to the next. If you want, you can complete the others also. So now the second column, star, circle, so only triangle is missing. So now we can complete the third row also. What is missing here is the circle. Everything is now completed. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay, general aptitude. Okay, logical inference question, logical conclusion. Very simple actually. It just looks like a big question, but very simple logical reasoning question. In a recently held parent-teacher meeting, the teachers had very few complaints about Ravi. Okay. After all, Ravi was a hardworking and kind student. That is why the teachers had only very few complaints about him. He was a hardworking and kind student. Incidentally, almost all of Ravi's friends at school were hardworking and kind too. But the teachers drew attention to Ravi's complete lack of interest in sports. He was hardworking, he was maybe studious, he was sincere, he was kind. But he was having lack of interest in sports. The teachers drew attention to that point. Okay. The teachers believed that along with some of his friends who showed similar disinterest in sports, Ravi needed to engage in some sports for his overall development. So along with some of his friends, so some of his friends are also there which are not disinterested in sports. Okay. Based on the information provided above, which of the following statement can be logically inferred? All of Ravi's friends are hardworking and kind. No, na. क्या बोला था यहाँ पे? Almost all of Ravi's friends are hardworking and kind, but not all. Almost doesn't mean all. Okay, so this is wrong. No one who is not a friend of Ravi is hardworking and kind. Nothing is mentioned like that. Okay, the question mentions about Ravi and some or almost all of his friends, but those persons who are not the friend of Ravi, nothing is mentioned. They can also be hardworking, na? Okay, so we cannot conclude that. None of Ravi's friends are interested in sports. Nahi. Some of their friends, okay, showed similar disinterest in phones. Okay, so nahi. Okay, some. not others. Some of Ravi's friends are hardworking and kind. Yes, almost all of Ravi's friends are hardworking and kind. So D is the best possible option. Okay. Some of the Ravi's friends are hardworking and kind, but not all. But not all. Okay. ठीक है. ठीक है. So D is the correct answer. 62. Inequality based question. बहुत फटाफट से हो जाएगा. P square minus 4Q is less than 6 and 3P plus 2Q is less than 6. अच्छा, ऊपर one is 4. Here also 4Q. Let's make the second one as 4Q. Multiply by 2. So what I'm going to do, just multiply this by 2. So it becomes 6P and then plus 4Q will be less than 12. And now guys, just add 1 and 2. Okay, let's say this is 1, let's say this is 2. When you add 1 and 2, you will have P square minus 4Q plus 4Q got cancelled. So only plus 6P less than 4 plus 12, 16. Or bring all the variables on left side to P square plus 6P minus 16 less than 0. Factorizable hai? Yes. P plus of 8, P minus of 2. Okay, less than 0. Less than 0. Polynomial inequality, I will straight away go for wavy curve. Right, minus 8 and plus 2 are the roots. Okay, the wavy curve which will start from the right of the largest root. Ye largest hai. Okay, with the positive sign, and then it will change sign. And then it will change sign here, and then again change sign at the every root. Okay, so what is the region when P plus 8, P minus 2 less than 0? Less than 0, negative. Negative is there when P belongs to minus 8 se leke 2. Minus 8 se 2. But P and Q are positive integers. Okay. But P should be a positive integer. So in this range, minus 8 say 2, what is the only positive integer that can come? Positive integer starts from 1, right? So P can only be 1, not even equal to 2. This is the open bracket, not the closed. Okay, not the closed. Okay, so inequality, it is strictly less than. If it is less than equal to, then 2 सोच सकते हैं, but it is strictly less than. Okay, so P is equal to 1. अच्छा, P अगर 1 आ गया, तो let me pick up the second one now. What is the second one? 3P plus 2Q is less than 6. So 3 plus 2Q is less than 6 because P का value 1 है. 2Q is less than 3, or we can say that the Q is less than 3 by 2. Right, so what is the value of Q? Right, Q is also equal to 1. Because Q is also a positive integer, na? Okay, so Q is also 1. So guys, both the values are obtained. So P plus Q is 1 plus 1. Both are obtained as 1. So the value is 1 plus 1. That is equal to 2. That is equal to 2. Done. P plus Q is equal to 2. Done. Moving ahead to the next question here. Which one of the sentence sequences in the given option creates a coherent narrative? Okay, I could not bring myself to knock. Okay, guys, this is a passage based question. Okay, verbal ability, let us not discuss more on this. The correct answer is going to be C. You can have a note of this. Let us go to the next question which needs to be discussed. Okay, now this is a good question. This is the only good question from the maths and aptitude. Even other than that, maths is simple, aptitude is simple. Okay, how many pairs of sets, how many pairs of sets S and T are possible among the subsets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that satisfy the condition S is a subset of T. Okay, and S and T are also among the subsets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dear, let us say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us say this is your complete sample space omega. Let us say this is the superset overall. Okay, so I define this as omega 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now let us start. S is also a subset of T. Let me start the first case that T contains all 6 elements. First possibility, T contains all 6 elements, T equal to omega. So what are the possibilities for S? What are the possibilities for S? Think. S should be a subset of T. So S can contain how many elements? S can contain either 6 element or 5 element or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0 elements. When S contains 0 element, it is a null set, and null set is a subset of every possible set. Null set is a subset of every possible set. Null set is a subset of every possible set. Clear everybody? Null set is a subset of every possible set. Dear, ठीक है. So 620, these are the possibilities. Okay, these are the possibilities. Now see guys, what is the answer for the case number 1? Forget the other cases. What should be the answer for case number 1? Okay, in how many ways you can select 6 elements out of 6? In how many ways you can select 6 elements out of 6? 6C6, that is actually only one way, select all. Only one way, that is select all. Okay, but still I have written as a formula. Then S can contain 6 elements out of T. Okay, T has 6 elements, so 6C6. Or means plus. S can contain maybe 5 elements also, so 6C5. Then 6C4, etc., 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 up to 6C0. So my dear students, you might think that this is going to be a calculative, a lengthy question. No. We have already learned in the combinations, one of the simple results from the combination that you can use here. Use the fact that when you start from NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2, etc. up to the last NCN, that is always equal to 2 power n. We can, you can, if you are not able to recall, you can prove this using the binomial expansion. P plus Q whole power n and put P and Q equal to 1. You will get this result. Okay, you will get this result by the binomial expansion. Okay, so that is what is coming here, na? That is what is coming up here. So this is equal to 6C6, which is 1, multiplied by 2 की power 6. Okay, 6C0 to 6C6 का summation, that is n 2 की power n का value 6 है. अच्छा, now one more case let me show you and then we can write down the answer. Similarly, case number 2, T contains 5 elements only. T को fix करके S के सारे cases बना लेंगे. T contains 5 elements only. That is possible as 6C5 ways. Okay, select any 5 out of 6. What about S? S contains how much? S contains maybe 5 or all 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. So this will be out of how many? T contains 5. So 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, etc. up to 5C0. So what should be the answer for the second case? The second case answer is 6C5 multiplied by 5C5 plus etc. up to 5C0, or that is equal to 6C5 is multiplied by 2 की power 5. Okay, 6C5 is 6 and 2 की power 5 is 32. So this will become how much? 192. Okay. So guys, etc. 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 So what is the final answer? Okay. Etc. 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 If I keep doing, so what should be the final answer? Now let us not write down all cases. Final answer likhte hain one shot mein. So what is the first case? T containing all 6 elements. 6C6 multiplied by kitna aaya? Multiplied by 2 की power 6. Then next case, T containing 5 elements. That can be done in 6C5 ways. And then how many possibilities for S? S can contain all possibilities, 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. So that we got 2 की power 5. So write down 2 की power 5. Dear, similarly next कर देते हैं ना. Let's do it next similarly. So next T can contain 4. So 6C4, it should be multiplied by 2 की power 4. Next 6C3, so multiplied by 2 की power 3. Next is going to be the 6C2 multiplied by 2 की power 2. Next is 6C1 multiplied by 2 की power 1. Next is 6C0 multiplied by 2 की power 0. So this is 6C6 is 1 multiplied by 2 की power 6, 64. Plus 6C5, that is 6 multiplied by 32. Plus 6C4, that's 62. 6C2, so 65 by 2, so that is equal to 15 multiplied by 16. Next is 6C3, 6 into 5 into 4 divided by 1 into 2 into 3, so 5 4s are 20. 20 multiplied by 2 cube, which is 8. 6C2 अभी निकाला हमने 15 multiplied by 4. 6C1 is 6, so 6 into 2. 6C0 is 1. 1 into 2 की power 0, that is also 1. Okay, so you have to eventually add up this. Okay, this is 192. This is 240 plus 160 plus 60 plus 12 plus 1. Right. Just keep solving it. You are going to get the answer as 729. You are going to get the answer as 729. It is A. 729. Correct answer is option number A. 729 is the correct answer, dear. Alright dear, so the final correct answer for the question is 729. The right answer, 729. Okay guys, moving ahead. 729. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay, and the last question of general aptitude. It is just a pure observation question, and the correct answer I shall tell you is the B, because I'll first read the question. An opaque pyramid shown below. Opaque matlab it, the light cannot, it's going to block the light, but with a square base and isosceles faces is suspended in the path of a parallel beam of light. Okay, that is what light is going to fall out in, but it is opaque, so you cannot see through it. Is suspended in the path of a parallel beam of light such that its shadow is cast on a screen oriented perpendicular to the direction of light beam. So if this is how the light beam is falling, screen can be somewhere here, perpendicular, or maybe at the top, anywhere you can imagine. Okay, it's not going to make any hurdle. Okay, so the screen is oriented perpendicular to the direction of the light beam. Okay, so this is the direction of light beam. The screen can be, perpendicular to the direction of light beam. So you can take it backward also. That is also okay. Okay, if this is the screen, this is the object. Okay, light can fall like this as well. But remember, it is opaque, so you cannot see through it. Okay. The pyramid can be reoriented in any direction with the light beam. Under these conditions, which of the shadows P, Q, R and S is not possible? Right, so it is a self-imagination question. Okay, I'll tell you the answer key here, that is B. You can even take a pyramid and think about this, or you can make it out of the paper. So guys, these are all the maths and aptitude questions. Okay, I hope you have understood all the possible solutions, and I hope you have performed well. Okay, and the level, again I repeat, for maths and aptitude was quite simpler only. Okay, actually very simpler for mechanical. Okay guys, so thank you. That's it from our side. We have completed all mechanical questions of GATE 2023. Hope you have liked the video. Share it across all the friends, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Bye bye. Take care of yourself.